போடலையா டைம் டேபிள்
எப்போ கொடுப்பாங்கன்னு தெரியல.
இரு
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Can I ask?
Yes, sure.
Ma'am, will we get some mock test before the quiz 1, which contain the whole syllabus of the 4 weeks?
Before quiz 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Foundation level, yeah, I think there will be one mock.
Okay, ma'am.
Wait, let me check and confirm once.
Okay, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, to ask any questions, you said that you'll be sending the discourse link.
I sent my discourse ID.
Ma'am, can you send it again so that I can save it?
My ID?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And yeah, there will be one mock test before your quiz 1, okay?
Okay.
Oh.
Ma'am, have you received my email on my access being denied for the discourse?
I have. I've forwarded it.
Ma'am, when will the mock test happen?
I think the week before quiz 1.
All right, okay.
Ma'am, did you ask for discount to JW students?
Sorry, your voice is very low. Can you speak louder?
Ma'am, for JW students,
Good evening, ma'am.
I have posted my discourse ID in the chat box, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Those who don't have access to discourse yet, you can mail me your email IDs. And about the slides from last class, so the annotated ones you wanted, right? So after today's class, I will just take all the slides together and upload them.
Ma'am, can I ask doubt, ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have qualified in the exam, ma'am. Whether we are going to write the exam or not, I have qualified, ma'am. Did we have to submit the week assignment week 3 and week 4, ma'am? Is it necessary?
You have to submit at least 3 of the first 4 weeks.
Okay, ma'am.
Don't write your emails on the chat box itself. You can mail them to me, okay? Because these will be lost after the class, right?
Ma'am, could you drop your mail ID?
Yes, ma'am.
I've uploaded that. Okay, so let's start with today's session. So today we had a little bit of the theory part left, right? The 3 prizes
Yes, ma'am.
problem. We just started that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. Ma'am, you just told that one mock test will be held before
Yeah.
the qualified exam. So up to 3rd July, we have our week 4 content, and 7th July, our qualified exam is held. So
In between
Yeah,
3rd
it
to
will
7th July, our mock test will be held.
Yeah, probably in that space only. You will get an announcement for it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So today we will cover that three prizes problem, and then there is the 3.9 lecture. It's about just the summary of procedures and all. So let me share my screen. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So one request, while I am going through the slides, please everyone keep your mics on mute, okay? And once I'm done, I will ask you for your queries, then you can unmute and ask. All right?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so what is the three prizes problem? We did cover the basic part of it. So what are we trying to do here is we're trying to find top three students, right? Based on certain criteria. So who are these top three people? And what are the criteria? First criteria is that total marks. Total marks is the basic criteria that they must have scored the highest total marks among the top three, right? Second criteria is that they must also be the top three students among the top three students in at least one subject. That means physics, chemistry, math, right? So each of these subjects individually have top three students who have scored the highest. So the actual top three who are going to get the prize, they must have scored the highest or the top three highest in at least one of these subjects. It can be more than one also. Okay. And what is the last criteria? That among the top three students that we give the prize to, at least one of them has to be a boy and the other one has at least one has to be a girl. Right? It can be two boys, one girl, or two girls, one boy. It's fine. Okay, but at least one boy, at least one girl. Okay, now what is the pattern of solving this problem? How will we go step by step? So the first thing is we have to find top three marks in a category. That means in physics, chemistry, and maths individually, we are trying to find the top three marks. All right. So how do we do that? See. Now we are going to look at the procedure to find the maximum. Okay, so here it is given in a step-by-step manner. Let's look at all the steps together. So finding maximum is what? Initialize a variable called max to 0. We have seen this multiple times now, right? When we found out the highest marks in mathematics. Just like that, same procedure. So initialize max to 0, scan the cards, update each time you see a bigger value. So like this, if you keep updating max each time you see a bigger value, at the end of execution, max will contain your highest marks in that category, right? So finding top 2 marks. Now this was finding the maximum. But our goal, what is the criteria? That the topper has to be among the top 3 people in at least one category. So we have to find the top 3 marks in each category in physics, chemistry, and maths, right? So first of all, we are breaking down the problem into smaller problems. So first we looked at how to find the maximum. Next, how do we find the top 2 marks? So now to store the top 2 marks, it's obvious that we need two variables, right? One is max, one is second max. That means this is the maximum and this is the second maximum. So if current card value is bigger than max, then how are we updating these two variables? Now, this is the tricky part. Okay. So there are two variables now. Earlier, you just had to update max when we are finding the maximum. Now you have two variables, you have to update twice. So once you have to update max and then you have to update second max. So if you find a value, say in the beginning, if my max variables, I have seen and scanned some cards. And at this point, I am running this procedure for mathematics. I want to find the top 3 marks in mathematics. Okay. So in the max variable, currently I have some student who has scored 90. And in second max, I have say 85. Okay. I have seen some cards and this is the value stored in max and second max at this point. Now, the next card that I pick, if there is some student who has scored 95 in math, then what do I have to do? I have to update max. Max will now be 95. But will second max be 85? No. It will now become 90.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, I have some questions about
Doubt
when
in
I
this part?
ask. No, ma'am. There is a practice assignment.
Yeah, assignment questions,
Non-graded.
everything I will take in the end. Okay, I don't have a lot of theory to cover today, so there will be time. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. There's not a lot of questions. There's only 4 or 3.
Okay, I'll take all the questions in the end. Okay, let's just finish the theory first.
Okay, ma'am.
See, once I finish
you,
the theory, even someone asked a few questions yesterday for the activity questions. So after I finish the theory, you'll be able to answer 90% of them by yourself. Okay. See, so what I'm saying is that when max gets updated, you have to automatically update second max also, right? Because what was the previous value of max is now the new value of second max. So if current value is bigger than max, copy max to second max and update max to current value. So we saw someone with 95 marks. So I updated second max to 90. That was the previous value of max, and max with this new value 95. So this is the maximum. This is the second maximum. Okay. So what happens if the current card value is between max and second max? Like max right now is 95. Okay. And second max right now is 90. Please mute yourself.
इंग्लिश समझ में नहीं आ रहा है
Mute everyone, please.
दिख तो रहा है वो तो समझ आ रहा है कहाँ से लिया है, समझ आएगा
Bro,
Okay. Yeah. So max currently is 95 and second max is 90. Now say the third card that I pick. Let's say that student has scored 92. So what do? This is greater than second max, right? But less than max. So in this case, there is no need to update max. His maximum is still 95. But I have to update second max with 92, right? Because it is greater than 90. So this becomes second max now. So if you find a card value between max and second max, that means there will be no change in max, but you have to update second max to the current value.
Hello.
Okay. So now we will write the... Yeah, sure. Only this part, max and second max in between if you get a value?
Yes, ma'am.
See, currently max is 95. Okay. Max is 95 and I have second max as 90. Just what we saw from the last example. So now say I have... Sorry?
Sorry for disturbing, ma'am, but max is 90 and second max is 85. After that, you can change it 95 and second max is 90.
Oh, I just changed it here. No? I took an example here. So first it was
Yeah, I know.
85 and 90. Then I picked on one more card of a student who had scored 95. So now I have to update max because this has become greater than max itself. So max becomes 95 and second max becomes 90. That is the previous value of max. Clear? Okay. So now I pick one more card of a student who has scored 92. So what is 92? It is less than max, but it is greater than second max. That means it falls between max and second max. So what you have to do? Max will remain the same. Second max will be updated to 92. Right? Okay.
Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
move on to the procedure now?
Yes,
Excuse me,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, for example, two same students get the same marks, two different students get the same marks. So what we'll be doing in that case?
No problem. You just see, we are concerned with the marks here, not the student name. Okay.
No, ma'am, I'm asking, for example, the highest is 98 and two people have got that. So what we'll be doing in that case?
Max will remain 98.
There will be no change. There will be no change.
You are just dealing with the marks, right? I don't care who has how many people have scored the same thing. I just want the highest marks in math. Just for this procedure, I'm saying. The whole three prizes problem, we will see. We have to combine a lot of procedure to find the top three. Okay, this is just part of it. So in this problem, we are just trying to find out the top three highest marks in a particular subject. Fine. Okay. So this is the procedure name, top three marks. Okay. So it's a procedure. So am I going to write separate procedures for physics, chemistry, and math? Or just one?
Ma'am, if you write subject in the parameters, then we no need to write physics, math, chemistry.
Correct. So I have to write just one piece of code, this top three marks, and it can run similarly for physics, maths, and chemistry. I just have to change the parameter here, subject, right? Okay. So top three marks. That means now I need three variables.
Here we have a condition. Ma'am, here we have condition that at least there is one topper in at least one subject.
No. See, this procedure is not to find the three. This is not solving the whole three prizes problem. Okay, this is just solving part of it. I am just trying to find top 3 marks in a subject. Okay, I'm not trying to find the top 3 people. Fine.
Ma'am, here considered any subject, a particular subject, top 3 marks.
Yes. So for maths, for physics, for chemistry, I just want to find the top 3 marks code in that subject. Now, after I am done with all these small procedures, I will combine them to actually solve the 3 prizes problem. Okay. So we'll go step by step. First, look at this one. So top 3 marks, now I need 3 variables. One is max, one is second max, one is third max. So this will store the highest, this will store the second highest, this will store the third highest. Okay.
Sorry
And
for
initially,
disturbing, ma'am.
initialize them all to 0. Yes.
Sorry for disturbing, ma'am. Due to high network issue, क्या मैं आप फिर से एक बार समझा सकते हैं top 3 marks in subject?
Which part do you want? Okay, top 3 marks.
Ma'am, ये top 3 marks in subject is slide.
See, top 3 marks is a procedure that we are trying to see. Top 3 marks is a procedure that we are writing to find the top 3 marks in any subject. Okay, that is the highest marks scored, the second highest marks scored, and the third highest marks scored in that subject. So for that, we will need 3 variables because we need to store 3 different marks, right? So we took max, second max, and third max, and I'm assigning them 0. Okay.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we are finding the total marks for. We are finding top marks for total marks or for max. We are finding total marks, ma'am. Top marks, ma'am.
Max will store the highest marks in that subject. Second max will store the second highest mark. And third max will store the third highest marks. All in the same subject.
We are finding the highest maximum marks for total or for subjects physics, chemistry, or maths.
Subject wise, physics, chemistry, or math.
Okay.
Okay. Total can also, you can use total. That is not a problem. I mean, in case of subject, you can just choose the total also because that is also different for every student. No? Or 2 students might have the same total. We'll see if total is needed. But currently think of it as a subject, maths, physics, chemistry. Okay. So what is the next line? Next line in our pseudocode is while pile 1 has more cards.
But if we take total, ma'am, then the parameter will not be subject. And it will change that.
Yeah, then parameter will not be subject. Then your parameter will be just total. But this procedure will work for total parameter also. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to find the maximum, second maximum, and third maximum totals scored by students. Okay.
Okay.
So now we will go to the repetitive steps. So first is while pile 1 has more cards. So this is basically our scores data set. That is 30 cards in our pile 1. And then pick the card X from pile 1. That is top card. Next, what do? We have to scan through all the cards and update max, second max, and third max as and when required. Okay. So this is the conditional step now. If subject, X dot subject. So let's say this one is for math. So if the card that I picked, X, if that person's math score is greater than max. So what is max initially? 0, right? So if you pick any person's card who has got yeah. So if you pick any person's card who has got more than 0 in maths. Okay. Say the first card I picked. Someone has scored 60 in math. This is the first card I picked. So is 60 greater than 0? Yes. So what will I do? I have to put the value of second max in third max. Remember, easy way to learn this thing is there are 3 variables, right? Max, second max, third max. Now, which is the highest among these? Which is going to store the highest score? Max?
Max.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So whenever I'm updating max, okay, whenever max gets updated, automatically second max and third max have to be updated. Okay. If second max get updated, you do not need to update max, but you need to update third max. And if third max gets updated, max and second max can remain the same. Okay. So the hierarchy is like, if max is updated, that means it will automatically affect second max and third max. Say max was 90, second max was 85, third max was 80. Now I found a card who has scored maths 95 marks. So max gets updated to 95, right? What will second max store now?
Updated in 90.
90.
90. And this one will store what?
85.
85.
Very good. Okay. Now see, second max, it was 90, right? Now let's say
Yes,
I
ma'am.
found a student who has scored 92. So now max doesn't need to be changed, but second max is becoming 92 now. What will third max be?
It's 90.
90.
90. Right? Now if I found someone who has scored 91, do I need to update max or second max?
No, ma'am. Only
Third max.
Third max.
Only third max will be updated.
92.
So the hierarchy, how it works? If max is updated, the rest of the two has to be updated. If second max is updated, only third max needs to be updated. And if only third max is updated, nothing has to be changed other than that. Okay. Now look at the procedure itself.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I have one small doubt regarding the all procedures. When we write subject or gen or field, how will the procedure recognize that we are looking for this particular thing, or it is general? Like, is
It is just in see these are
generalized?
pseudocodes. Okay, these are not actual programs, so these do not run. Pseudocode is written in plain English for your understanding. This is just the structure of a code. So when you are writing actual code, no, then you take parameters as variables that are actually being used in the program. Okay, so the program can identify, like when it is getting compiled, it will identify.
So if we are
which,
trying to run
variable.
this program, whatever we're trying to find the top 3 marks in a particular subject,
Yeah.
then we will specify the subject so that the code will
Right.
only look for
So
those marks.
in your main program, obviously there will be some variable for the subjects itself, like maths, physics, chemistry, whatever it is. So at that time you can just define a procedure. Okay. So whenever you're defining a procedure, the parameter name you can take as anything. All right. It can be XYZ, whatever the parameter is. But when you call the function or call the procedure, there you have to specify for which parameter you want to run it. So in that case, when you're calling, then this subject will be math, physics, or chemistry. You have to write within the parenthesis.
The same follows for gender and field as well, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now see, if the first card I picked is 60, they have scored 60 in maths. Fine. So this is the first iteration. So now max, second max, third max are all 0 initially. So is 60 greater than 0? Yes. X dot subject or X dot math in this case is greater than max. So I will assign third max the value of second max, and second max the value of max, and max the value of subject. Now why am I going in this order? Because what will happen if I assign the new value to max first and then try to change second max and third max? The values will be lost, right? The previous value of max will be lost. So I have to go bottom up. That means first I will change third max, then I will change second max, then I will update max because I need the previous values. Correct. So for this iteration, it will not matter because all of them are 0. So third max was already storing 0. So it will just get assigned 0 again. And
Excuse me,
second
ma'am.
max will, yeah.
मैं बोलना चाह रहा था
To assign a value to third max, we also need a value of max.
To assign third max, you will always assign third max the previous value that was stored in second max. Okay.
No,
And
I
second
mean to
max,
say that if we want to set the value of third max, we should know that what is maths. What is maths?
no. See, updating third max just requires your second max value, and updating second max requires your previous max value. It's a hierarchy, right? So if you want to find the top mark, only then you are changing max. But whenever you change max, automatically second and third max have to be updated. So where is the value of second max coming from now? The previous value of max?
Previous one. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
मैम जो अपन
Yes.
लास्ट में बोला ना कि थर्ड मैक्स में पहले भरना है फिर सेकंड मैक्स फिर मैक्स वो समझ में नहीं आया मैम, समझ में नहीं आया वो
Okay.
कि
Will
हम
it be
क्यों
better
बिना
if I explain this step in Hindi once?
ये मैम
Please explain with an
Yes, ma'am.
example.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
one you stated.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. Okay, just this part I'm going to explain once in Hindi. Okay.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम।
तो हम इस प्रोसीजर में क्या कर रहे हैं, हम यहाँ पे मैथ्स के लिए फाइंड कर रहे हैं टॉप 3 मार्क्स। ओके, तो हमारे पास 3 वेरिएबल्स है, मैक्स, सेकंड मैक्स, थर्ड मैक्स। मैक्स में हम क्या स्टोर करेंगे, हाईएस्ट मार्क्स जो मैथ्स में स्कोर हुआ है। सेकंड मैक्स, सेकंड हाईएस्ट मार्क्स इन मैथ्स। थर्ड मैक्स, थर्ड हाईएस्ट मार्क्स इन मैथ्स। दिस इज आवर गोल। अब हम क्या कर रहे हैं, देखो, while pile one has more cards, तो हम टॉप कार्ड पिक किए। ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैकेनिज्म कैसे काम कर रहा है समझ लो कि फर्स्ट ये जो मैक्स वेरिएबल है, ठीक है, इसमें समझ लो अभी हमने कुछ कार्ड स्कैन किया है, तो अभी मैक्स में मेरे पास 90 है, सेकेंड मैक्स में मेरे पास है 85 और थर्ड मैक्स में मेरे पास है 80। फाइन। अब अगर मैंने एक और कार्ड लिया और उस कार्ड में उस बच्चे ने 95 स्कोर किया है मैथ्स में, ठीक है, तो बताओ इसमें से कौन सा वेरिएबल मुझे अपडेट करना है।
मैम तीनों ही करना है, तीनों अपडेट होगा,
तीनों में अपडेट होगा, राइट। और ये 95 किस में जाके स्टोर होगा, मैक्स में। इनमें से सबसे बड़ा कौन है, ठीक है, तो मैक्स में स्टोर होगा। तो ऑब्वियसली हम मैक्स को चेंज करेंगे, बट उसको चेंज अगर अभी कर दे, उसको अगर पहले ही 95 कर दे, तो ये 90 वैल्यू तो लॉस्ट हो गया ना मेरा, तो मैं सेकेंड मैक्स में कैसे अपडेट करूंगी। तो आई विल गो बॉटम अप, ठीक है, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि मुझे तीनों को अपडेट करना है, तो मैं ऐसे करूंगी, पहले थर्ड मैक्स को करूंगी, क्योंकि अभी मेरे पास सेकंड मैक्स में वो 85 वैल्यू है, तो उस 85 को लेके यहाँ पे चेंज कर दो। उसके बाद सेकंड मैक्स को अपडेट करो, क्योंकि अभी भी मैक्स में प्रीवियस वैल्यू है 90, इसको लेके यहाँ पे अब तुम मैक्स को चेंज करो टू 95। अब अगर हम पहले ही मैथ्स को 95 कर देते मैक्स वेरिएबल को, तो ये 90 वैल्यू लूज हो जाता, तो हम सेकंड मैक्स को अपडेट नहीं कर पाते करेक्टली। और अगर सेकंड मैक्स करेक्टली अपडेट नहीं हुआ, अगर सेकंड मैक्स को पहले कर देते तो थर्ड मैक्स नहीं कर पाते। तो यू हैव टू गो फ्रॉम बॉटम अप, ओके, ताकि प्रीवियस वैल्यूज लूज ना हो जाए। अब देखो ये पार्ट भी मैं एक बार हिंदी में समझा देती हूँ। हाँ
मैम, ये तो पाइथन कोड जैसा है ना ये वाला।
obviously, see, the procedures, pseudocode is what, it is just your base of learning any programming language, ठीक है।
Ma'am, this
So
things
it's like
This is
totally
the
like
code.
Python programming what you learn in 11th and 12th, ma'am.
Yes, pseudocode,
ma'am,
the
I have a
pseudocode that we
question.
write, sir,
Hello.
it is
Ma'am, what about
Hello.
this?
Ma'am,
Actually, this
why did you middle inverted comma are some randomly putted, not the end of a sentence?
which inverted comma, sorry I didn't get it.
Not inverted comma. This ये जो
He was asking about curly bracket.
टाइप का है, कोष्ठक टाइप का है, मिडिल कोष्ठक टाइप का।
This bracket.
हाँ, this bracket.
Look, whenever you have a repetitive statement like this while, or you have a conditional statement like this if, so what happens that, see, after while we open this curly bracket and end it here, okay, so this means that these steps will be repeated again and again. Okay, every time I pick a new card, these steps will be repeated. Now what about this part, this inside if also there is a curly bracket, so this means that whenever the if condition satisfies, only then we will enter this block of code. Okay, if x dot subject is greater than max, only then these 3 lines of code will be executed, this updating third max, second max and max. But if it is not satisfying, if the if condition is false, then you do not enter this block of code, you just move on and pick the next card. Fine.
Ma'am, we take. Ma'am, this is.
Ma'am, just asking, ma'am, why we not close the curly bracket at the end of sentence? Why we are closing down end of sentence a little down and.
So where do you want to close it, after end of 3 marks? That is the end of your procedure.
Ma'am,
You
curly bracket
cannot-
we replace colon.
Okay, let me say something. You cannot decide where to open and where to close. It's not up to us. Okay, this is syntax. whenever you have repetitive steps, they need to come under curly braces.
Ma'am, one more thing.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, if you know Python, so that will be easy for this, right?
No. We are not. See, this is CT course. Okay. You have a separate course for Python only. So a lot of people in this course they are not familiarized with Python. Okay. People come from all kinds of backgrounds. The pseudocode is just plain English. Okay. It is just your basic.
I didn't get you. What is this pseudocode?
This is pseudocode. Yeah. So we mentioned that in the beginning of the course only, that in CT you will only be dealing with pseudocode, no actual code in Python or C or anything. Python will come after you finish your CT. Then you'll have your Python course. There you will learn.
Another one. Ma'am, I have one doubt. Please tell. Ma'am, for mathematics exam. Ma'am, excuse me.
See, if you have exam related queries that are not from CT, okay, please ask in those respective
Okay, ma'am.
sessions.
Ma'am, see, in this.
Ma'am, extra interview, please.
Ma'am, one more thing.
Please explain
I'm
English for
just
you
going
also,
to
ma'am.
have to
It's unfair
mute.
for MP guy.
Ma'am, I was
Ma'am,
asking the
extra
doubt
in
and.
Telugu, ma'am. Ma'am, extra in Telugu.
One by one. Ma'am, mute everyone and
Ma'am, please mute all.
See, I already requested you in the beginning of the session. When I am going through the slides, please just concentrate on this. All other operational queries, exam queries that you have, you can ask support. Okay?
Ma'am, if you
At the
can, you
end of
can
the
mute all.
session.
Ma'am, please mute all.
Ma'am, mute
Please
everyone,
mute
please.
all.
Ma'am, mute everyone.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
all
please
are
mute everyone, ma'am.
Ma'am, one last question, ma'am, please. Clear my doubt, ma'am.
Ma'am, extra in Telugu, ma'am.
If it is related to the what we are learning right now, only then ask.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I didn't understand the program actually. What is that actually?
This procedure that we're learning?
This procedure of 3 mark subject. I didn't understand this.
Okay, see. This is a procedure to find the top 3 marks in any subject. Okay. So currently we are checking for math. What is the highest mark scored by any student in math? What is the second highest? What is the third highest?
Okay.
So for that, we will need 3 variables: max, second max, third max. Okay. So while file 1 has more cards, so we have to pick the top card. Now, I was just telling you how the variables are being updated here. Okay, so firstly, just think that you have a variable max which has the value stored 90 right now. So I have scanned some cards and max has 90 stored, second max has 85 stored, and third max has 80 stored in it. So after that, if I pick a card where the student has scored 95 in math, so in that case, I know that 95 is greater than 80, greater than 85, greater than 90. So I have to update max variable. But I cannot update max in the beginning because then this 90 value will be lost. And I need this 90 value to be stored in second max. So I will go in a bottom-up approach. So first I will update T max, that is third max.
Ma'am, actually you don't have a calling location here, no, ma'am.
Sorry?
Where is the calling location here?
That what do you mean?
Calling location, ma'am. Like after
Calling location.
after max is equal to x into x dot subject. So after that
I
you
am
need
just see. I am just
Ma'am,
showing
what
you
was
how it is
ma'am?
working. I have not shown the whole procedure yet. Okay. Just understand the working first.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
What means for x dot subject?
See, this question I have been answering from the first week. I don't know why you don't pay attention. I have answered this 1,000 times. X is the card that we are picking. X dot subject means X dot math, X dot physics, X dot chemistry, whatever is the marks for physics, chemistry, and math stored in that card.
Yes,
Subject is
And
just an attribute here.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
The CT, do you have any calculation?
Calculation means you'll have this kind of
I mean,
procedure.
like using calculators like that.
No, none of that is necessary. Calculators are not allowed in any of the exams. Can you tell me about the while condition? Why we use while? While condition is nothing but it is a part of the repetitive steps. Okay.
Hello,
So
ma'am.
while
Can you
file
kindly
1 has
mute
more
everyone,
cards
please?
means I have seen I
Ma'am,
have
they are
muted
laughing, ma'am.
everyone multiple times, but the problem is
Can
that
we continue with the concept? They can ask the
Ma'am, they are enjoying. That's why.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Ma'am, like if we have to change second max to third max, but it is not the highest max. So how will it change?
Please stop asking the doubts first. Let the topic get clear. It's getting confused.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Please, sir,
please start the
proceed.
topic. Please. Stop asking doubts
Yes,
now.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Shall we continue?
Ma'am, you are muted, ma'am. Your voice is not
Ma'am, you
audible.
are
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Ma'am, your voice is not
You are
coming.
not audible,
okay
ma'am.
now okay.
Yes, yes,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, now you're audible.
See, this is the condition. Now I have picked one more card where the student has scored 95 in maths. So I know that 95 is greater than 80, 85 and 90. That means max variable has to be changed. But we have to go bottom up because we cannot lose the previous value stored. So first I will update third max with the value stored in second max. So 80 will become 85. Then I will update second max with whatever is stored in max. So 85 becomes 90 and 90 will be updated finally with this 95. So see, same thing is happening here. So this x dot subject is, in our case, if I am taking math as the parameter, then x dot math, right? Now say the first card I have picked. Now forget about all this. Say the first card I have picked from my pile 1 is some student X who scored 60 in maths. Okay. So in the initial iteration, max, second max, third max are all 0. So if x dot subject is greater than max, that means is 60 greater than 0? Yes. So in this case, you might ask that why do I need to assign third max to second max, because all of them are 0 currently. So this has to be written in this way because in the next steps, when third max, second max and max actually have different values, then we need to switch, right? So in this case, no change will happen basically. So third max will store second max. So both are 0. So third max will remain 0. Second max will store max, which was again 0. So second max remains 0. But max will be assigned the subject marks that we just saw in X card, right? So what was the marks? 60. So max is now 60. Fine. Now say I pick one more card. I pick one more card where the student has scored 75. So now you are asking if x dot subject is greater than max. So 75, is it greater than 60? Yes. So what will I do? Now assign third max to second max. So second max was 0. So again third max remains 0. Second max to max. So what was max previously? 60. So now second max becomes 60. And max will be finally updated with 75. Clear up to this? Now say one more student comes who has scored 80. Now what will happen? Is 80 greater than 75? Yes. So again, update third max with second max. Now what was second max previously? 60. So now third max becomes 60. Second max to max, so second max becomes 75. And max to the original subject mark, that is 80 now. Okay. So currently third max is 60, second max is 75, max is 80. This much is clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Clear.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
most
Yes, yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
doubting
ma'am,
condition.
one
Why?
doubt.
Yeah, ma'am. Clear.
Ma'am, it's
Ma'am, please repeat.
compulsory to include
Ma'am,
flower
ma'am,
bracket,
Why
ma'am,
create why?
ma'am, hello.
Okay,
Ma'am,
stop
Ma'am,
please
yelling. Please
hello.
ma'am.
let's finish this. I still haven't finished it. I just asked
Ma'am,
if
please.
you
Ma'am, hello.
understood or not.
I
Ma'am,
posted a question in a comment box. Please see it. That question answer that. Please.
ma'am, please repeat.
Who is this
Ma'am,
person?
irregularity.
Listen, I am going to repeat myself one more time. Then whoever does this thing, I'll just have to remove you.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
listen first what I'm saying.
Ma'am, it's compulsory to include
Whatever
flower bracket,
queries
ma'am.
you have,
Please, ma'am,
whatever
continue.
doubt.
You, ma'am. More
I,
than
They're
that.
ma'am, please
not
understand
Please
listening.
ask
your
him
whole
last.
point,
Please
ma'am.
ask
But
us last.
Ma'am, please
why
remove
condition
them.
I
Ma'am,
don't
please
know.
remove them.
Why
one
create
doubt,
a
ma'am.
why?
Ma'am, one doubt, please, ma'am.
Listen,
Ma'am, please remove
doubts I
them,
will
ma'am.
take. TA sessions will also take doubts. But first, let me teach in my way. Okay. Do not interrupt in between and give your doubts. I know you have doubts and I will take them.
Yes, ma'am.
But first, let me
Okay.
teach in my way. I do this every term, right? This is not new for me. I take doubts every term.
I'm ready to listen you, ma'am.
This is new for you. So you listen to me. I am here to help you only. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Please do not make it difficult.
Okay,
This
ma'am.
part is very tricky. This is just a small procedure that I'm teaching and it's taking so much time. Now I have to combine all of these procedures into a big one to solve this three prizes problem. So in that also you will have doubts. Listen, if you listen to what I'm saying, if you pay attention, you will not have that many doubts. Just pay attention for now. See, up to this, I think everyone is clear. 60, 75, 80. Okay. Now
Yes,
say
ma'am.
I pick a student's card who has scored 76. Now what will happen? So first check, is 76 greater than max? So what is max currently? 80. No.
80.
So what will happen? Do I need to update anything here?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Second max we have
Second.
to update, and then we have to update max with
Right.
75.
But in
Third
this
max and
Ma'am,
second
condition,
max.
first.
but in this
No,
condition,
ma'am.
No,
if
ma'am, we
this
don't need
gets
to update
rejected,
anything
we
here.
will not even enter this if block. Okay. Your max is currently 80 and it is the card that you have picked is currently 76. So this condition is failing. Is x dot subject greater than max? So is 76 greater than 80? That is failing. That means you will not do anything in this block. You are not even entering the
It's not
if block.
F2
All
tag
right.
is not entering, ma'am.
Now see. So that code will not work for this type of situation. So what will we do? Let's change it a little. See. Again, this is the same procedure. Now what we have changed? Max, second max, third max, same. Okay. While pile 1 has more card, pick a card. Now it is saying if max is greater than x dot subject. Okay. And x dot subject is less than second max. So if x dot subject is something that falls between max and second max, then you have to update third max and second max. Right? This is one more situation. So in
Okay,
this
ma'am.
case, there can be a lot of situations. There can be some value that is greater than max. There can be some value that falls between max and second max. Something that falls between second max and third max. So for all of these, we need separate provisions, right? So the first thing that you saw, that was if I had to update max, like this code that we just saw, this will work when max is getting updated. So what if there is some value that falls between max and second max? Then we need this snippet of code. See, so that 76 that I just told you. So max currently has 80, second max has 75, and third max has 60, right? Now I have picked a card with 76 marks in max. So is it between max and second max? Yes. Right. It is less than
Yes.
max, but greater than second max. So now I will follow this block of code. Third max will be assigned the value given to second max. So third max will now become what? 75. This value comes here. And second max will be having 76 stored in it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Now
Okay,
see,
ma'am.
we are not done. See, another situation, what can happen?
Ma'am.
Now see, our max is what? 80. No questions yet. I'm not done. See, max is 80.
Okay.
Second max is 76. Third max is 75. Okay. Okay, this is a little bad. Okay. Let's say that this card was 77. Okay, because I need a middle value. Let's say this was 77. So now my second max is 77 and this. Okay. I'll just erase this. All right. So now if I pick a card whose value is 76. So now my second max is 77 and third max is 75. So second max 77, which is greater than 76, and third max 75, which is less than 76.
Yes,
That means
okay.
76 falls between second max and third max. So what will I have to do? Just update third max.
Third max with
Third
76.
max.
Update
So third
X
max
dot
will be
subject.
updated to 76. See,
76.
very easy to check. Whenever the value falls between second max and third max, then only third max is updated. Only one statement in if block. If value falls between max and second max, two statements within if block. Second max and third max both need to be updated. And if the value is greater than max, that is max need to be updated. That means all three statements are needed.
Hello.
All
Yes.
right.
Okay.
Now see.
Ma'am, can't
Yes,
second max
ma'am.
and third max be equal?
Sorry, come again.
Ma'am said third max can't be equal.
Third max will be equal to the subject marks that you just found. If the marks that you picked is between second max and third max, that means it is less than second max but greater than third max, then that value will be stored in third max.
We got 77 marks in
Ma'am,
third
it's
max.
compulsory to include
in
flower brackets, ma'am.
See, one more thing about brackets, I've been hearing this question a lot. All of the brackets that you see here, these are syntax. These are not just placed randomly. Okay. So whenever you have a while statement or an if condition, conditional statements, you have to place the block of code within that statement inside
Ma'am,
curly
if we place
braces.
semicolon, ma'am, colons, while each
Colons are,
statement
do you
will...
see any colons in this code so far? Is
Don't
there
type
any colon
this.
here?
No, ma'am.
Then why, like, there is no point in asking that, right? Colons are part of actual code. If you write in C programming and all, then colons are necessary. This is not that. This is pseudocode. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Thank
see.
you.
So this procedure, what do we want from it? We want the top 3 marks from it. So this procedure has to return me what? The max, the second max, and the third max. I need it to return to me all 3 variables values at the end of execution. So the return statement will look like this: max, second max, third max. Okay. So now we have covered all the possibilities that can happen. All right. So what are the 3 possibilities? Bigger than max, between max and second max, between second max and third max. And I want to return the values as a list. A list is nothing but it's sort of a data structure where you have the elements placed within third bracket or box bracket. Okay. So the max, second max, and third max will look like this. If the max, second max, and third max is 80, 75, and 60, then it will return like this: 80, 75, 60 within third brackets. Fine.
Ma'am, if
Yeah.
we change the range of max, like we change it from 1000, so then what will happen?
If you change the name of what?
If we change the range greater than 100, greater than 1000,
Then it will not find the maximum, right? We are trying to find the maximum, second maximum, and third maximum. If you change the range, then it will not give any sensible data. And you cannot give 1000 obviously, because our
okay, so
range for every subject is 100.
there was assignment that
Okay. Now look
1000
at
and if
this.
you get the lowest marks.
Hello, ma'am.
See, if I show you a pseudocode and you ask me that in this, if I change this condition, what will happen? There are thousands of infinite possibilities that you can do with a pseudocode. But what is your goal? You want to find the top 3 marks. So you will write the pseudocode required for that, right? Here, do I need to write it that values within 60 to 100? I don't care about what are the values within 60 to 100. I need the maximum 3 values. So for that, this is the way to update the variables. Okay, we do not need a range here. If you have some problem where the range is specified that I want to find all students who have scored between 60 to 100, in that case, you can place a range like that. See, the return statement will look like this. I want to return the max, second max, and third max in the form of a list.
Just mute them on these. So many have been asked.
Ma'am, please mute everybody, ma'am.
Yeah, I have muted everybody. The thing is that I even said this yesterday that I am joining from a separate device. In that device, I'm not co-host. Okay. So if I mute everyone, I will also get muted. That's the problem. That's why I'm muting everyone, but you still have the right to unmute if you want.
Ma'am, please give me power to mute everyone, ma'am.
मैम दिक्कत
Yeah,
ये है कि
I'll
कुछ
try.
ऐसे फालतू लोग
I know that. So I will try to. Actually, it was not possible because today is Saturday. So I will try from next week to get co-host access for this device also. In that way, I can mute everyone.
Can I ask a question?
सॉरी मैम
Please
बच्चों
continue.
के चक्कर में सब पिस जाते हैं.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Continue.
So many students are
Ma'am,
disturbing.
please continue the slide.
Ma'am, can I ask a
मैम
question?
कंटिन्यू मैम.
Ma'am, please continue, ma'am.
मैम प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Proceed, ma'am.
Ma'am, it is not clear, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Okay, which part is not clear till now?
Am I audible?
Ma'am, conditions while and return.
Ma'am, can you please make some setting on because there is some chat
I'm talking.
and please, ma'am, I'm so irritated from
Wait,
that.
wait. I'm getting confused. Which part is not clear for anyone? Just let me tell.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
can
this
you
Repeat
slide.
that part.
explain the last slide you did?
This one.
Yeah, actually there was some voice issue.
Okay, see, what I'm saying is in this slide, you see this dot, this part is given, right? So this is what? This is all three conditions. That means we need all three code snippets in this. Fine. So there is no space to write all of that. That's why dots are given here. But from this procedure, what do I want in return? I want the top 3 marks. That is, I want the max, second max, and third max at the end of execution. So that's why the return statement will contain all three in the form of a list. A list is what? See, a list is a data structure. You can think of it. A list just stores elements of the same type within third brackets. Okay. So max, second max, third max, it will be stored within third brackets and returned to you. That is, this procedure will give this back to you once it's done executing. So in our case, what will it give back? 80, 75, 60, if this is the end result stored in max, second max, third max. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I
Okay,
have a
so now
doubt.
see.
Ma'am, I have
Yeah.
a doubt,
I have
ma'am.
a doubt.
Ma'am, where can I
Last
find
doubt, only one.
where
Guys,
can I
please
find this
ask
PDF, ma'am?
doubts at last.
Where can you find what?
Where can I find this PDF, ma'am?
It is present in your supplementary contents under lecture PPTs. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I have only one doubt.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Only one
ma'am,
doubt.
No more doubts now. At the end of the class. At
Yes,
the end after I'm
yes,
done.
ma'am.
Okay. Not now.
Okay,
Now
ma'am.
Please,
No
you
problem.
continue, ma'am. You continue, ma'am. You continue.
see.
ma'am, can you explain in Hindi, ma'am? I don't understand English
Yes,
language.
ma'am. In Tamil also, ma'am.
I don't know
Yes,
Tamil.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Please
there
do the
are
session in
There
Hindi.
are Hindi
Ma'am,
sessions.
it is
Okay.
unfair for
Yes,
ma'am.
yes,
It
ma'am.
is unfair for
Definitely.
Can
Tamil
you explain the
students.
whole
It's
thing
not
in
a
It
Hindi
Hindi?
is
session, ma'am.
unfair for Tamil student, ma'am.
See, English is a language that all everyone can understand at least some part. A lot of students
Yes, ma'am.
are who understand Tamil, they don't know Hindi. So what will they do? So there are separate Hindi
But
sessions. You
ma'am,
can
you
join
explain
them.
Hindi, but you didn't explain
I'm a
Tamil.
student of
You
Tamil.
explain
How can I
Hindi.
understand?
It is
Ma'am,
fine
please
for
continue. Ma'am,
Tamil,
please
ma'am.
continue.
I am just going to
Please
continue in
mute.
English only.
Ma'am,
Okay.
please
Continue, ma'am.
Please mute all of
Yes,
them.
ma'am.
Ask
Continue in
please
English.
continue all of them.
Ma'am, we are
Mute all of them
comfortable.
and
Yes, ma'am. Continue in English only, ma'am. Someone will come and say talking Chinese, and we cannot talk in Chinese.
Okay. See.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am,
in
why
this
don't
procedure, what we
you
are doing,
have someone
the
use the
suff
host controls to mute everyone? That way it will be easier for you to teach. We'll just raise our
I
hands if
don't
you have any doubt.
have anyone right now to do that, right? It's a Saturday, especially no one, it's not a
Oh,
work day
oh,
also. So I don't have anyone
I'm
okay.
not
helping me.
asking any suggestion from you.
Ma'am,
So
please
please be
continue, ma'am. Ma'am, please continue.
Okay, see. So it is they're saying it is sufficient to return third max. Okay. So if you just want to return any of these, you can just return first max, second max, or third max, but you can also return these values as a list. All right. So now top 3 marks in a subject's in entirety. Now the entire pseudocode, how does it look? See, this is the whole code. Okay. So it is starting here. Procedure top 3 marks. You have 3 of these variables, max, second max, and third max, that are assigned 0. Then you have this while block. Pile 1 has more cards. You pick a card. Okay. And what is the syntax doing? So first, after you write the while statement, you have to open a curly brace. And this curly brace will end only when here. Okay. So pick a card from pile 1 if the subject marks is greater than max. So now what we are doing, we saw 3 different scenarios. Now we are consolidating them. So this scenario is when max needs to be updated. Okay. That means the value in the card is greater than max. Then you will do this. What is the second scenario? If the value in the card is less than max but greater than second max. And thirdly, if the value in the card is less than second max but greater than third max.
Third max.
So these are the 3 different conditions that might occur. So you need all 3 of these. Now, say if I have that same situation I'm giving you, if max is 80, second max is 75, and third max is 60. Okay. Now if I pick a card which has say just say 65. So I have picked a card from pile 1, read that card. Now you will come
It
to
failed,
this
ma'am.
line. Is
It
subject
failed, ma'am. Is fine.
Yeah. See, I'm just showing you how it's working. So is 65 greater than max? No. That means this
No.
whole block is discarded. You have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
go line by line. Okay. A compiler or an interpreter always checks the code line by line. It doesn't know which block you like this max. Okay. You can just look at 65 and say, okay, I just need to change third max. But the computer doesn't know that. Your compiler doesn't know that. It will just read the program line by line, right? So you have to go through all the conditions. So is 65 greater than 80? No. That means this
It's the
whole
third
block is
condition.
discarded. Then is 65 falling between 80 and 75? No. So this whole block
No.
is also discarded. Now you come to this condition. Is 65 between 75 and 60? Yes. That
Yes.
means this is executed. So you have to check all the conditions regardless. Okay, now if some card I picked, say after this, and the value is 95. So now is x dot subject greater than max? So is 95 greater than 80?
It's the
Yes.
first
So
condition.
now you are going to execute this block. So after that, there is no need to execute these two blocks. Okay. But you have to still check the condition. We know that this block is the only one that is getting executed. But line by line, you have to go. If this is executed, your computer will still check if any of these two are getting executed or not. And then it will go for the next iteration and pick the next card. Okay. So you might know that which block of code I need, but the computer doesn't know. So you have to check all the conditions. Okay. So this is the procedure top 3 marks. And this will find you the top 3 marks for any subject. Fine. I hope
If
this
I have
procedure
to
is clear.
write,
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I had a question. Like, if I have to
Yes,
write
ma'am.
the pseudocode for the example you had just given, so I have to write down 3 steps, or I will just do the last one.
you have to write all the conditions. Okay. See, this type of
Ma'am,
pseudocode,
about the
you are in this course, just let me talk first. In this course, in any of the exams, you will not be required to actually write pseudocode. Okay. You just have to know how to understand the logic. Okay. See, CT course is entirely about building your logic for programming so that when you move on to harder, tougher courses like Python, Java, C, these things will be very easy for you because programming language is just syntax. Okay. The same thing that you can do in Python, you can do in Java using different syntax. So, syntax is not a problem. Anyone can learn syntax. What you need to learn is how to build logic. Like if I tell you that, okay, find top 3 marks in a subject and write the code in Python. If you don't understand this logic, you will not be able to write it in any language, no matter how good you are in syntax. Okay. So just try to build the logic first. So whenever I see top 3 marks, I know that these are the possibilities that are possible whenever I'm picking the cards. So I have to give a provision for every possibility. One that is greater than max, one that is between max and second max, and one that is between second max and third max. Now, do I need to check if anything is less than third max? No. Because that is not necessary. If it is less than third max, then it is definitely not going to fall under the top 3 category. So that's why there's not a provision for that. Okay. So
Ma'am,
this
I
is
have
the
a doubt in
pseudocode.
this.
Yeah.
If you want the top three subjects marks, then why in the return statement it's only written third max?
It is written third max because that is the, what can I say? It is the limit. That means third max is the last value in those top 3. So anyone who has scored greater than third max is going to fall within the top 3 in that category.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why only returning third max is also enough.
So we can write the whole one we want or the ending value also.
Yeah, you can return it as a list where you have the top 3 values, or you can just return it as a third max variable, because we are going to use this procedure to solve the 3 prices problem, and there we are interested in top 3 marks. Okay, so if you know what is the third highest, then you know that anything greater than that is going to fall under first highest or second highest, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, return is basically asking for output.
Return is the result that is stored. See, you are storing the results in max, second max, and third max. So you can return any of these. But this procedure, when you call it, if you write return third max, then whenever you're calling this procedure, it will return the third max value at the end of execution.
Okay, ma'am.
Now
But
see,
what if the third max value is 80, then how will we know that the first max or the second max can be either 90 or 95 or 92 or
that is not,
96,
we don't
something
need to
like
know.
that?
Na. See, if you know third max value is 80, then you can surely say that anything greater than 80 is going to be among the top three in that subject.
Yes, ma'am.
What we want. That is the what was the basic criteria of finding the three prizes problem, that they should have scored the top three values in at least one subject. So
Yes,
obviously
ma'am.
anything greater than the third max or equal to the third max is in the top three. That's why you don't need all three values.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now see, in three prizes, top three totals such that top three in at least one subject. That is, we will deal with this problem first, that the person has scored top three in at least one subject. Then the smaller problem is that deal with boy or girl requirement later. What is the boy or girl requirement? That is, there should be at least one boy and at least one girl in the top three, right? In the three prizes problem. Now see.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have doubt in top 3 marks in a subject. It's not entire.
This procedure.
No, sir. No, ma'am. इसके ऊपर बता.
Then
Ma'am,
इसके
why
ऊपर
are you
बता.
returning only third max, ma'am?
Ma'am,
I
इसके
am
ऊपर
returning.
बता.
See, I am returning third max. Now see, if third max is 60 at the end of execution, then if I return third max as 60, and after that, whatever card you are checking, if you see that that person has scored 60 or greater than 60 in maths, you can say for sure, right, that they are among the toppers in math. Because I know that the third highest is 60. So anything equal to or greater than 60 means top three in math. So
Ma'am,
getting the
we
third highest value is enough, right?
ma'am,
But
you
what
will use
if
that for
all the
the
cards below it are not greater than the third max?
So that is not our problem, right? We are looking at the entire data set. The entire data set. So whenever we are actually picking the students for this three prizes problem, if you know what is the third max in maths, then for any student you can say whether that student falls under the toppers in math subject or not. That's what we are trying to find out. Can you, okay, tell me, do you agree with this, that if I have third max in a particular subject, then can I identify whether any student, by looking at their marks, can I identify whether they fall under the toppers in that subject or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's our problem. That's what we want to know, whether they fall under the top three or not. Okay. If they have scored below, it's not our problem. It's not even part of the three prizes problem then.
So, ma'am, it's basically depends on the question, what it says.
Okay, let me finish first, then I'll take rest of the
Please
questions.
mute others because it's quite disturbing.
Ma'am,
Okay, now see. Now it is saying that top three totals such that top three in at least one subject deal with boy or girl requirement later. Now second step is again maintain and update max, second max, third max. Then scan through all the cards. For each card, update the three variables as before. And but only if in the top three of at least one subject. Okay, all of this is not needed. Record third highest marks, compare with subject marks before updating max, second max, third max. Okay, so what they're saying now is, now we are actually getting into the three prizes problem itself. So what is one more requirement of three prizes? That there has to be at least one boy, at least one girl. So after we are done finding out the toppers, now we have to arrange one more condition to make sure that at least one boy and one girl are there. Okay. So after, so these are all the steps. See, first, top three totals such that top three in at least one subject. Then again, maintain, update max, second max, third max. Scan through all the cards in our deck. For each card, we have to update max, second max, third max, however required. Then, but only if in the top three of at least one subject. So we will only look at those students who have scored top three in at least one subject. So there will be a lot of students like that, right? Now within them also we have to again run a procedure that will find the top three among all of these students who have scored at least highest in at least one subject. Okay, let's look at the pseudocode, then it will be clearer. This is just going to confuse. Okay. Okay. Now look very carefully. See. Maintain 6 variables now. One is second max, max, third max, and max ID, second max ID, third max ID. So what is ID representing? It is giving you the ID of the student or the sequence number of the card, right? So max, second max, third max is initialized to 0, but max ID, second max ID, third max ID is initialized to -1. Why? Because the actual ID start from 0 only. So we cannot assign 0 to anything. Okay. If you look at the data set, the sequence number will start from 0 card sequences. So we start here from -1. Okay. Initialize.
ID?
ID is, if you look at the scores data set, every card has some card ID associated with it. Card 1, card 2, anything. So it starts from 0.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah,
That's why we are not assigning 0 to anything. Okay, because it's an actual card ID. We are assigning -1 to everything in the beginning. Okay. Now as we go along, we will upgrade these
Thank you.
values. Okay. Now see. Record third highest marks in each subject. So we just saw the top 3 marks procedure, right? Where we were returning third highest, and I told you third highest is enough. Why? Because if we return third highest, then we know that anything equal to or above that marks means topper in that subject. Okay. So we want to record third highest marks in each subject. So there will be 3 more variables: maths 3, physics 3, chemistry 3. So it means what? Maths 3 variable will contain the third highest in maths, because this procedure returns what? Third highest. Now see, I am calling the procedure top 3 marks here, and I have changed the parameter name to maths. So this one is calculating what? Third highest in maths and storing it in maths 3 variable. Similarly, this call is finding what? Third highest in physics and storing it in phys 3 variable. And this procedure is finding third highest in chemistry and storing it in Clear up to this? Now see.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yeah, what?
We are saying that when we write the definition of the procedure, then we generalize it. And when we store the value of the result in the variable, then we need to specify it.
See, wherever you are calling the function, this is a function call. So
Calling
wherever
means
you are calling
storing
the
the
function,
variable.
yes, so you are calling it, and then whatever this call returns will be stored in this variable. So whenever you're calling the function, there you have to maintain, specify what your parameter is. So here we are specifying.
Ma'am, but
Okay,
it is
next is
written, ma'am, maths 3 is written top 3 marks. So why it is written top 3 marks? Why not the
it is not
third
taking
highest?
top 3 marks. It is recording the third highest only. What did we see in top 3 marks procedure? What was it returning? It was returning the third highest marks. See? Wait. Here. What is top 3 marks returning? Third max. It is not returning all 3. We just saw that. That third max is enough to find the toppers.
So, ma'am, it would be an error if there was a list. So we have to use only third mark.
That's why. So in this procedure, if you want to work it like this, then we don't need a list. Just returning third max is enough. That list is just to show you that if you want, you can do that also for that part of the procedure. Now, if you are trying to involve that procedure in some other procedure, like here, we are trying to use that procedure to find the third max of every subject so that we can actually solve the 3 prizes problem, right? So in this case, we know that getting third max is enough from each subject. So that's why we are just storing third max in individual variables. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, scan through all the cards. Okay. So initialization part is done. Recording third highest part is done. What is the next step? While pile 1 has more card, pick a card from pile 1. So this is what? Scanning part. That is, I have to go through the entire data set here. Next is update max, second max, and third max as appropriate. So that code will be written here. Let's see what is that code. If subject topper. So what is this? Subject topper is again what? Another procedure. Okay. So if subject topper X, math 3, physics 3, chemistry 3. Okay, this might look a little new right now. What is this? Subject topper is some procedure which is taking 4 parameters. The first parameter is this X card. Okay. Second is the
Please take control.
maths, third highest in maths. Then third is third highest in physics. Fourth is third highest in chemistry. Okay. So this is a new procedure, subject topper. We have to see what is the definition of this procedure. Now see. So it is written here that update max, second max, third max as appropriate only if top 3 in some subject. Okay. So how will I know if a person is a subject topper? So this subject, yeah. You want to ask something?
Ma'am, there is one setting. Ma'am, can you please fix that? Ma'am, that chat messages are showing in the front. This positive videos.
Yeah, you can turn off the notification. It will not show.
Yeah.
Okay.
but तभी बार-बार आ रहा है.
Can anybody say that?
कहाँ
Okay,
देख रहे हो?
so-
लैपटॉप में देख रहे हो क्या आप?
Yeah, yes, sir.
No, mobile.
Okay. Please just mute your notifications. Okay. No need to have a discussion over this. You can just mute your notifications. So you will not see the messages. Okay. Now let me continue. This part is a little difficult, so just pay attention. See.
Okay.
Now we have a new procedure known as subject topper. So what is how we are defining it? See, there is something inside this if block. What is this block of code doing? If subject topper this. So that means this is the condition. Okay, this part is your if condition. If this returns true, then I will move to this if block. And what is happening within the if block? If x dot total is greater than max. Okay. Then third max will contain second max. Third max ID will contain second max ID. Second max will contain max, just the same bottom up approach. Second max contains max. Second max ID will be max ID. And max will have the new total and the new ID of that card. Okay. So,
Ma'am, please tell us with examples.
yes, I'll give example. 1 second. This is just
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, ये वाला slide पे समझा दीजिएगा. Can you explain this?
Sorry. Okay, this
your
part.
slide पे yeah, ma'am.
Can you explain the subject topper procedure one?
Yes. So subject topper procedure, that is what I'm saying. Where is the definition of that procedure? Because this is just calling the procedure, right? Yeah. So here the subject topper procedure is defined. Okay. Let's look at it. So subject topper procedure does what? Compare each subject's marks on the card with the third highest. Okay. So that's why it is taking 4 parameters. One, what is the card you picked? That is the X card. That is the first parameter. Second parameter is third highest in maths. This parameter is third highest in physics. This is third highest in chemistry. Procedure subject topper. So what is it doing? If card.math, that means x.maths, is greater than equal to the third highest in maths, or if card.physics is greater than equal to third highest in physics, or if card.chemistry is greater than equal to third highest in chemistry, that means if the student has scored the top 3 marks in any one subject, right, in any one subject, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So that is what we want, right? We want all of those people who have scored top 3 marks in at least one. That is why we are using the or condition and not the and condition here. Okay. Or means if any one of these conditions is satisfied, it can be more than one. Like more than one condition might be satisfied. A person might have scored top marks in maths as well as physics. So they will also return true. But if he has scored just the top 3 marks in chemistry, let's say he has scored the second highest in chemistry, then this procedure will return true. But if the person hasn't scored top 3 marks in maths, physics, or chemistry, then it will return false. Right? So this is satisfying that criteria, that basic criteria that we had to find the 3 prizes problem. What was the criteria? That the person has to score the top 3 highest marks, among top 3 highest marks in at least one subject. So this subject topper procedure is going to give us that. So when I call the subject topper procedure, what are the values that it can return? True or false, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Agreed, everyone? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes,
see,
ma'am. Yes,
where
ma'am.
was I? Now see, where was I calling this procedure?
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
calling it here. Here I was calling it. Right. So if subject topper, these parameters. So that means this whole thing is a function call or a procedure call. So it will return either true or false based on your card. Right. If it returns true, that means if the person is a subject topper, that means if the person has scored among top 3 marks in.
Ma'am, your voice not audible, ma'am.
You are muted, I guess.
आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी मैं आपकी आवाज नहीं आ
Now.
रही
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
yeah ma'am
Yes, ma'am. Now it is audible.
Yeah. Okay, see. So this part will either return true or false. If it returns true, that means that person has scored among the top 3 marks in at least one subject. Then I will enter this if block. Okay, this block. Now within this block, see what is happening. If x dot total, that means this x card that I have picked. So currently, I am sure that this person is a subject topper in at least one subject. Now, if his total marks is greater than max, what was max? Max was initialized in the beginning, remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Here we initialized max to 0.
yes ma'am
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Max,
Yes.
second max, third max at 0, and max ID, second max ID, third max ID are all -1. So now we are going to work with this. See. So if this is true, then the total marks of that person, if it is greater than max, then we will again update third max, second max, max, and third max ID, second max ID, and max ID. Okay. So now you tell me, you have seen this before. So this block of code is needed just to find if I need to update max, right? Now there can be two more situations that we saw. One is what? The total can be between second max and max, and the total can be between second max and third max, right? Okay. So now say, for example, let's take that same example. If max scored by the student, see this total, we are saying this is out of what? 300. That means all subjects together, right? So let's say this person has scored a total of 250. Okay. And currently my max, second max, third max are, let's say, okay, let's say max is 250 right now. Second max is 200 and third max is say 150. Okay. Now the X card that I have picked, this person has, let's say, scored a total of 260. Then what will I do?
Max marks. Replace it with max.
We update the max mark.
Yes. Now let's say,
update the
see,
max.
there is
We'll
one
update
more
the
complication here.
third max.
There is
We
one
will
more
update
complication
third
here.
max.
Let me
Ma'am,
finish.
do we get the recording?
Yes, it is streaming in YouTube. Okay, you can check it out there. See.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am,
One more thing
first
here
the
is.
update.
Okay, let me finish. Then I will ask if I need to ask. Okay. So first thing is, I will update the max, second max, and third max variable, but I also have to update the IDs them
Yes,
because I
ma'am.
am trying to find the ID of the card as well. So every time I am going to update third max, I have to also update third max ID. Every time I update second max, I will update second max ID. Every time I update max, I will update max ID. Okay. So if the total is 260, that means is 260 greater than 250? This part, yes. So I will enter the if block. Okay. See, this is a nested if within an if, right? This is called nested if. So now I know that, okay, I have some value which is greater than the max. So first I will change third max to second max. So third max will now contain what? 200. And the second max ID, whatever the ID was.
250.
Okay, let's take an entire example. So this is third max. Let's say the card IDs associated with these are, this is card 5, this is card ID 6, this is card ID 7. Okay, and this is say card ID 8. Okay. So first third max is updated to second max. So third max new value is what? 200.
200.
Third max ID
card
is
ID
now
6.
what? 6. Second
Six.
max new value is now 250.
250.
Second max card ID
And
is
card
now
ID 5.
5.
max new 260.
260.
And this is
8.
8. Clear how it is getting updated? Very easy.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see.
Ma'am,
Now
just a
next.
minute.
So you know that there are three different conditions. One is that the value that we're checking is greater than max. Now comes the second condition, that the value falls between max and second max. That is, it is less than max but greater than second max. So now we know that we have no need to what? Update max. Now I only have to update second max and third max, right? So third max is updated first because remember, bottom up always, right? So start from the least one. So third max now has second max. And third max ID now has second max ID. Similarly, second max will now have what? The total. Let's say the total. Okay, if so that you don't get confused, let us write all the values that we have for now.
Other
Max
members,
is
please
268.
don't type the message.
Yeah, I'm going to write this because I know people will ask me to explain this one more time. So this is now 250. And what was the card ID? Let's check. It was 5 and 206. This is 200, card ID 6. Now let's say I have picked one more card. Okay, I have picked one more card, 255 total. This person has scored 255 in total and their card ID is set 2. Okay, so does this fall between max and second max? Yes. It is less than max, that is less than 260 and greater than 250. So third max will first be assigned second max. So third max new value is 250.
250.
Max ID is now 5.
5.
Okay. This thing is now discarded, 206. Okay. Because we have found someone who has scored higher. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Second max now has 255. And its ID is going to be the card ID 2. Here. Okay. So currently, what is my max now? Max remains 260. Card ID 8. Second max remains what? 255. Card ID 2. And third max remains what? 250. Card ID 5. Here. Now, what is the last condition? That the card that we pick has a total. Let me finish this part, then I'll take question. Okay. So let's say the total value. Now I have picked a new card, and the total value of that card is say 252. Okay, this person has scored a total of 252, and his card ID is, let's say, 4. Okay. So currently, let's write it down again. Okay. First, tell me, do I need to change max or second max?
No need, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Because I know 252, my
No, ma'am.
second max is currently
Why we not
255,
need to change
and
to
third max is 250. So 252 falls between second max and third max. So I will only update what? Third max.
Third max.
So third max will become what? 252. And third max
252.
ID will become 4.
4.
Here. Wait, I'll mute this first.
4.
Okay. I'm still audible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am,
is
please
this
even summarize.
Clear for everyone up to this? The 3
Yes,
scenarios?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Please, ma'am, one question discussion round. Hello.
At least top 3 marks in one subject, and third criteria is what? There must be at least one boy and at least one girl in the 3 prizes problem solution. That means the top 3 students that we pick, there should be one boy and one girl at least.
Ma'am,
Okay.
is this criteria compulsory for all kind of questions or
No, this is
criteria
just the
is
3
just our
prizes
condition?
problem. Okay, this is a separate problem. It's called the 3 prizes problem. For this, these are the criteria. Okay. Now see what it is saying. In the end, we have what we need. So after performing all of these things, we will have the actual card ID and
There is a
the
question in our
actual
table.
total marks of the students that we are looking for. So now you see that we have used all of the procedures that we are talking about. The top 3 marks procedure we used, the max marks, everything we have used that we learned till now, right? How to find the maximum marks, how to find the top 3 maximum marks, how to find the subject toppers, everything we have used in this big procedure.
Ma'am,
Clear?
what
So what
happens?
are,
Ma'am, what happens when a total of same value will be deducted
That means
That, see, since we are also taking into account card ID, I think that's why you are asking if two people have scored the same marks, right?
yeah, correct.
So what will happen? The last person whose card you pick up, okay.
Okay.
In this case, the last person whose card you pick up, who has scored that, will be updated. Although it's not entirely fair, because it might happen that both of them have scored the same total and they are both eligible for the prize. But if we follow this algorithm or this pseudocode, then it will take the last card with that total marks.
Ma'am, why last card it will take? Why won't it let the before one keep and let this one slide?
Because see, it depends on what condition we have put. So we are checking for greater than equal to, right? So it will check for the equal condition also. See, the fairest way to do this is if you want to maintain a list of such card IDs who have scored the same. Okay. You can maintain a list of them, but in that case also it will be difficult to find the top 3 because we only have 3 places. Okay. That's why it is given like this.
First, we should store the number,
Can
then
you
we
share
should
but the
compare
board?
it with another factor.
Wait.
And can you explain previous slide and other previous slide?
Yeah, this.
You mute everyone, ma'am.
This one?
It's 3 pages and another other slide. इसके ऊपर वाला
This
मैम
one.
दोनों मैम.
Okay, or this and this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now everyone mute. I will explain this to one more time. See, subject topper returns what? True or false, correct? Based on whether a person has topped in a subject or not, in at least one subject or not. If he has scored among the top 3 marks in either physics or maths or chemistry, even one, then it will return true. If it returns true, then I will enter this block of code. Okay. So this block of code, what we are doing, if a person is a subject topper, now our job is to make sure that the total marks is also among the top 3 totals. Okay. So that's what we are doing. Once we, sorry, are you saying something? Okay, let me complete this then. If once we have settled that a person is a subject topper, next job is to check that that person's total marks, is it among the top 3 total marks? That we have to check. If it is, then he will be a contender for your 3 prizes problem. That means out of the 3 prizes, this person can get a prize. Okay. Because he is a subject topper as well as he has scored the top 3 total marks also. So first problem is find out whether the person has topped in a single subject. Next problem, find out that the total marks of that person, whatever the total marks he has scored, is that among the top 3 total marks? Okay. If so, then now your job is to find out see, what is this block of code doing? This one. So we saw in the top 3 procedure, top 3 marks procedure for every subject, we saw that there are 3 conditions. One is where the card you pick is greater than max. One is where the card you pick has a value for maths which is between max and second max, and another is when the value is between second max and third max. So similarly for total also the same thing will work. So this block of code is for when your max variable needs to be updated, and we know when max is updated, second max and third max are also updated, and in this case the IDs have to be updated as well because we are keeping track of both. Now this one does what? This is for the second condition. If the total value lies between max and second max, then you have to update what? Just second max and third max and the corresponding IDs. And the last condition is what? If the total value of that card lies between second and third max, then you just have to update third max and third max ID.
Ma'am, if total value is lies between second max, third max, then not only update third max.
Madam.
Right. See, if it is lying between second max and third max, that means, see, what is the condition? It is less than second max. So obviously second max doesn't need to be updated, but it is greater than third max. So third max needs to be updated. That means whatever was stored in third max, we have found a higher value than that. Right. But that value is not... Yes, ask.
Ma'am, Ma'am,
Ma'am.
when value is greater than max and
Yes.
but lesser than yeah, sorry for that, ma'am. The
Is it
value is
possible
less.
that, okay, first you tell me
Sorry,
one thing.
ma'am.
Is it
Sorry, ma'am.
possible?
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. It's my fault. I will explain this question. If the
Okay.
value is lesser than max, greater
Hmm.
than second max, then
Hmm.
only will change third max, and then after second max.
Yes, exactly. If it is less than max and greater than second max, then first you will change third max to the previous second max and second max to this current value. Okay,
It's my
max
fault,
doesn't
ma'am.
need to be changed.
Ma'am,
Yes,
am
ma'am.
I
It's my fault.
audible?
गलती ज्यादा ही बोल दी है. Sorry, ma'am.
Is this fine? Now
Ma'am,
you understood?
Am I ever
Yes,
doubt?
I understood,
am I
ma'am.
audible, ma'am? Am I audible?
Wait. I'm not taking doubts yet, right? Just wait. I will ask. Let me finish this first. Okay. So this is the subject topper procedure that we already saw.
Ma'am, please
Okay.
disable the chat, ma'am.
Look, just ignore all of these things, okay? If you keep paying attention to these things, you can just mute the notifications for chat. Just ignore these things. Focus on what I'm teaching. See, now I am asking this. I will ask this to you, but go one by one. Don't all unmute yourself at once. What will happen if I change these ors to ands? Will it be the same thing?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Obviously.
No,
So what
ma'am.
it
No,
will
ma'am.
mean is that
No, ma'am.
in that time,
All will matter. No, all will
so
matter.
It's a
that
main.
means that for a person to qualify as a subject topper, he has to score. Exactly. He has to be a topper of all three subjects. That means he has to score among top
All
three in all
subjects.
three. So that is why we are using or, because we are flexible here. We need at least one subject topper, right? He can be topper in all three subjects, then also it will return true. But if he has topped in only one subject, then also it will return true. It will only return false when he hasn't topped in a single subject. Okay. So that is your subject topper procedure. Next,
Ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am, for example, we are just storing these marks, highest marks with IDs, right? So according to that, we can just store the same marks, no, with IDs. With respect to IDs, we can store it in dictionaries or lists. So
Yeah, that's what I
why
was
we are,
saying, that if you
yeah,
want, you can keep a list of IDs who have scored the same. Okay. But then also, there is one more problem, that we only have limited 3 seats. Right.
ma'am,
So
we
we can
can set
only
the
give it
limit
to
of the
3
list as well,
people.
no? Length of limit
Yes.
should be 3. We can also say that.
But see, you are saying that in the, say, one person who has scored max, okay, the max total. So this person is a subject topper and he has also scored the max total. Now there may be 2 such people who have scored that max total and are subject toppers, or 3 such people. So in that case, that list has 3 people. Again, 3 people have scored the same thing as second max. That means their total is same and they are also subject toppers and they are the second max total. So like this, you can have a lot of people filling in these positions, right? For max, second max, and third max, if you keep a list of IDs, it can be a lot of people who have scored that. But we only have 3 seats. So we are not keeping a list. This is not entirely fair, but this is the algorithm that we are following here. Okay. So we will just take one such person. And who will be that person? The last ID having that mark. Why? Because we are constantly changing and we have that greater than equal to option. So for all the equal IDs also, it will keep on updating. And if it doesn't have the equal option, then only the first ID that we saw, right? See,
Yes, ma'am.
what I'm saying is, if it is not clear, see, if a person has scored 290 as a total,
It's clear,
okay.
ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, if it's clear, see, I'm just saying that if another person has also scored 290, but we do not have this option, we just have greater than, right? Then no change will happen. But if we have the greater than equal to option, then the ID will be changed, right? Because 290 equals to 290 will also be a condition then.
So we can add more conditions, like if age is greater than this and marks.
Yes.
Right.
It is very, see, code is for you to play with. You can add all the conditions you want, create new problems. This is just an example of a problem. Okay. So you can always be creative. See, now if we want to list the total everything in this 3 prizes problem, then it looks like this. All right. See, it's not intimidating now because now you know every procedure, every part of this is familiar to you, right? Is anyone intimidated by this?
No, ma'am.
Is this clear, right? You understand every part. See,
Yes,
three,
ma'am.
three max variables here and ID variables here. These are for what? These are for the totals. Okay, x dot total comparisons.
ID variable is -1.
Right.
Can you
Oh, the
explain,
ID
ma'am, can you
variables are
explain again?
-1.
Sorry, ma'am,
Okay,
can you
see.
explain again?
See,
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
these 3 max variables and the ID variables, all of these are when are we using this? When we are trying to find the highest totals, right? That is the first highest total, second highest total, and third highest total of the subject toppers among them only. So these variables are for that part. Now these 3 variables contain what? The third highest marks in each of the subjects that we found out using top 3 marks procedure. Now top 3 marks procedure is already defined somewhere, right? So we are not defining it here. We are just calling the procedure.
Yes, ma'am.
Now similarly
I will
in
define.
this part, yeah, you have to define it somewhere. We already saw how it is defined, so it is not written here. We are
Price
just
3 in
calling the
price 3
procedure.
and price in prices.
This is the 3 prizes problem entirety.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So this
no,
is
ma'am.
not.
Ma'am, you are not taking my question, ma'am. You are ignoring.
Sorry, come again. What
Ma'am,
is the issue?
we will say this. We will see this. The top 3 marks of physics, maths, physics, and chemistry. I will define in 3 prizes. Slide.
What is this top 3 marks procedure? You remember, top 3 marks procedure is calculating what? Top 3 marks in every subject, right? So we already saw how to find that. That procedure is already defined somewhere, this top 3 marks subject procedure, right? Here we are only calling that procedure, and what is that procedure returning? The third highest marks in that subject? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So that is stored in these
Yes, ma'am.
variables.
Yes, ma'am.
This maths 3, physics 3, chemistry 3. These are storing what? The third highest marks in each of these subjects. Next, when we come to the repetitive steps, then we have to encounter this procedure, subject topper. So subject topper is doing what? It is checking that for a particular student X, if that X student is a topper in any of the subjects, in at least one. If so, okay, if he is a topper, then this procedure will return true, right? We saw that subject topper was returning either true or false. If it returns true, then we will enter this block of code. Next, what do we have to check? If the total marks of that student is greater than max or not. Which max is this? This max, right? So like this, we will check here. This is one of the conditions that the total is greater than max. If it is greater than max, then you execute this entire block of code up to here. Okay. Now say it is not greater than max. It falls between max and second max. Then this part will return true and you will enter this if block and execute this whole block of code, right? Now, if this is also not true, if the total of that person falls between second max and third max, then you will enter this block and execute just this block of code. Okay. And at the end of all the
There is
cards
no
where you
return value, ma'am.
have return value for what? See, this is not a procedure. This is a actual program, you can say. Okay, this program is not returning anything. At the end of this program, if you look at max, second max, third max, you can find the values. And if you look at the IDs, you can find the respective IDs. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So here what we want to find is actually the ID of the students. Okay, the top 3 students, we need the ID and the total marks. So now tell me, in this entire 3 prizes problem, does anyone have any part of it that they don't understand?
Ma'am, you specified
Ma'am,
a
no,
condition
ma'am.
about the
One by
gender.
one.
It is clear, ma'am.
One by one, tell me.
Ma'am, you specified the problem for the gender as well, that there should be at least one boy and girl. How do
Right.
we
So we haven't come to that yet, right? Okay. So in this, do you have any problem in this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
why
Yes,
the
ma'am.
max ID is
Ma'am, why
greater
you are
than
taking only third max? Why it is only
ma'am,
third max?
Again, I'm telling you
Please
why I'm taking
explain.
only third max. See, okay. Third max is what? The third highest in a particular subject, correct? So if I know that, say, in maths, the third highest is 80. If I know this, that is stored in maths 3 variable. Okay. And this is used where? In finding whether a person is a subject topper or not. Here, it is used as a parameter. So if I know that the third highest in maths is 80 and I pick a card X, then just by looking at that person's maths marks, I can tell whether they fall under the top 3 in maths or not, because anything that is equal to or greater than 80 is a topper in that subject in maths, right? You do not need all
Yes,
three
ma'am.
highest values. Just knowing the third highest, that is the bottom mark. You can say that anything equal to this or greater than this means a topper in math. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am,
That's why
if
Ma'am,
ma'am,
why the max ID is -1?
see, ID values are all initialized to -1. Why? Because the actual card ID starts from 0. Okay. So if I initialize this to 0, it will actually represent some student's card. I cannot do that. Okay. I
ma'am,
haven't
Okay, ma'am.
seen the cards yet.
Okay, ma'am.
ma'am,
Okay, ma'am.
in this area, if max is greater than x total, greater than second max, can you explain it?
If max is what? Greater than x total.
Yeah, ma'am.
And?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, यहाँ पे है ना ma'am. Max greater than x total or greater than
This one.
second max.
Yes, this one, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, let's say let's say max at this point is, this is what? This whole
Ma'am.
part is for total marks. Yes.
Ma'am, only this part can you explain in Hindi? Please, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay,
please.
I'll explain this
Thank you,
quickly
ma'am.
in once in Hindi. Okay, see. If अगर मैक्स वेरिएबल में अभी दिस इज वी आर कंपेयरिंग द टोटल, राइट? यहाँ पे हम टोटल मार्क्स कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, नॉट सब्जेक्ट वाइज. ओके, दिस इज द टोटल. तो अगर मैक्स में सोच लो, अभी मैक्स में 250 है और सेकेंड मैक्स में 200 है, ठीक है? तो अभी अगर मैंने कार्ड उठाया एक्स जिसका कि टोटल मार्क्स है 230, तो वो क्या हो गया? वो सेकेंड मैक्स से ज्यादा है पर मैक्स से कम है, राइट? सो इट विल फॉल अंडर दिस कैटेगरी, ठीक है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
तो अब हम क्या करेंगे? अगर मैक्स से कम है, इसका मतलब ये कि मैक्स को अपडेट करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, मैक्स को मैक्स ही रहने देते हैं. तो हम क्या अपडेट करेंगे? सेकेंड मैक्स और थर्ड मैक्स. एंड वी नो कि हम बॉटम अप प्रोसीडियर में जा रहे हैं, मतलब थर्ड मैक्स पहले अपडेट होगा फिर सेकेंड मैक्स. तो हम पहले थर्ड मैक्स में सेकेंड मैक्स का वैल्यू रखेंगे. तो सेकेंड मैक्स में क्या था? 200. सो फर्स्ट यू असाइन 200 थर्ड मैक्स एंड व्हाटएवर वाज द कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग आईडी, वो भी तुम यहाँ पे डाल दो. सेकेंड मैक्स का आईडी थर्ड मैक्स में असाइन कर दो. Just think ki second max had this 200 and the corresponding ID was 8, card ID 8. So now third max has 200 and corresponding card ID 8. And this new card that we just saw, which is 230, let's say card ID 5, इसको तुम assign करोगे कहाँ? second max में. So now second max has 230 and second max ID is 5. पर max में कुछ change नहीं होगा क्योंकि max is already 250, right? जो कि 230 से ज्यादा है. बट सेकेंड मैक्स को हमने चेंज किया, तो सेकेंड मैक्स का प्रीवियस वैल्यू थर्ड मैक्स में आ गया. क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear, ma'am.
ठीक है. ओके, सो इफ देयर इज nothing else from here, then we will check that now what is the deal with the gender, right? What if all prize winners are of same gender? This we cannot have, right? Our boundary condition is what? That there has to be at least one boy and at least one girl. Okay. So exclude the third prize winner and repeat the process. Now see what happens. After we have found out, say I have done this entire procedure that we just saw and we have found the top 3 people, that is max card, what was the variable name? Variable max ID is, we have found the max ID, the second max ID and the third max ID of the top 3 people. Okay. But we see that all 3 of them are girls. Now what will happen? I cannot have that. There has to be at least one boy. So I will discard the third max. Okay. The third prize winner I will discard. And I will again repeat the process to find the next person who can fill in for that third prize winner. If it is again a girl, then you again discard it and again continue the process until you find a boy. Understood? Now, if it happens that the first two people are boys and the third person is also a boy, then you have to discard the third person and run the entire procedure again until you find a girl in that third position. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we
Yes,
are
ma'am.
not complicating this
Yes, ma'am.
procedure by introducing this gender criteria inside any of the
Yeah, ma'am.
procedures. Instead, what we are doing is we are running the procedure and finding the top three people regardless of gender. After we have found out, then we check that what is the gender of these people. Now, if we see all three are of same gender, then we are going to always remove the third person and repeat the procedure until we find a different gender in the third place. Okay, I hope
Ma'am,
this is clear now.
ma'am, shall we check in the same condition if it's a girl or boy and gender also in
That is
a
going to
same
be
group?
very difficult to check because
Ma'am,
you are running all of these procedures together, right?
Uh,
So introducing a gender condition in all of them is going to change the code a lot. So it is
yeah,
better that you just run the code regardless of gender, and once you have found the IDs, then you see if it is a girl or a boy. It is much easier to eliminate using this.
yeah, it's
See,
easier,
whenever
but
you
Is this
like,
condition mentioned in the question or not?
yes, it is
That
given in the base criteria that there has to be at least one boy and at least one girl.
Ma'am, after ma'am session, can you please send this PDF in the
Yeah, I
chat
will
box?
upload all the PDFs from yesterday and today's session. I was just waiting for today's session to end, then I will upload everything. See, one more thing that you need to keep in mind is this is a big problem. Okay. So like this, there will be also one more problem in the upcoming weeks called the birthday paradox problem. That will also have a lot of steps. Okay. So I hope now you're at least comfortable looking at pseudocode.
Ma'am, I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Can
have
you
a
tell where the
no
boundary
ma'am.
conditions are specified?
See, it was in the beginning of the slides only. Here only it was given. See,
No, ma'am,
what are
I'm
the base
asking that
criteria?
you are saying that we don't write this condition in the pseudocode itself, but where do we write it so that we
Which
keep in
condition?
mind this thing? The gender condition that if all three belong to the same
No,
category, we
you
need
are
to
not
remove the
writing
third
it
one.
anywhere. Okay. We are not checking that part of the pseudocode.
Hello.
We are not actually including it in the pseudocode itself. Okay. So we are just saying that we have to find the top three people and then we have to repeat this procedure. If all of them have the same gender, we have to remove the last person and repeat the procedure. That is the thing. We are not showing you how you are entering the gender condition into that. I don't think there is a code for that. No, that part of code is not. It's
But
just
ma'am, we
simple.
can
See,
put another
if you want
parameter called gen.
to look, if you want to know that how it is incorporated, then what will you do after this entire program is done? Okay, then you know the max card ID, second max card ID, and third max card ID. So what you can do is just check whether that card ID, okay, that card ID dot gender, you have to check the gender for all three card IDs that you got.
yeah, ma'am. I am asking because of we are moving card to first pill to second pill. We are checking the total marks and we are moving first pill to second pill. After that, we need to check that gender also. So the first pill will be empty now because of we are moving first pill to second pill. So we need to replace the whole
Yes, then
second pill
you
to
can just take all the cards from second pile and replace again, put them back in first pile. Okay.
yeah, because of checking gender.
Yes. So we are
Yeah.
not going into the details of those pseudocodes because that is not very logical. I mean, it is
Ma'am,
not a very difficult logic. You can write it yourself only.
ma'am,
Yeah.
do we have to check for the third gender, ma'am?
Check for what? Gender.
Third gender, ma'am.
No, just male and female, right? There are two genders in the. Look at your scores data set. What are the two genders given there? Male and female. So you just look for those. It is specified in your boundary condition that one has to be a girl, one has to be a boy. That's all you need to know. See, just read the question before you attack the, like, try to do the solution. Okay.
Ma'am, can there be any question without this condition of one boy and one girl?
This is a particular problem, right? Three prizes problem. Like this, we can invent any problem that we want. Whatever we give in your exam, if we give you a problem, then we will describe the problem also. What are the base conditions, what you have to look for, everything will be mentioned there.
Okay.
Now see,
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
can we check a
So
particular
actually, first
gender?
of all, the practice assignment, could I ask here?
yeah, practice assignments I will take. Just one, give me a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Listen, one more thing I am telling you people, because this is just the beginning of the course. You will be seeing a lot harder pseudocode. Okay. As we go on. So the thing is, I see a lot of people asking me that what if we change this condition, what will happen? That condition, if I change, what will happen? See, a simple problem can be solved in innumerable number of ways. But what is our goal? Our goal is to solve it in the most optimized way. For any programmer, that is the first thing he has to do, that you have to solve a program or a problem in the most optimized way. I can write a code of 100 lines that will do something, and I can write the same code in 10 lines to achieve the same thing. So which is more optimized? 10 lines. So that's what we are trying to do here.
And,
Okay, just minimize the number of codes, number of lines of code.
yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
we are checking the gender after the total
We are
marks
checking
we
gender
find out,
after
right?
the, yes, we are checking gender after we have
Yeah,
found out the
but
top three.
yeah, in the same code we can also check the gender also and put
Yeah, it
the
is possible. It is definitely
three.
possible. Yes, if you want, you can write that
Yeah, okay.
pseudocode by yourself. It's possible. Okay, now see,
Yeah, okay.
exclude the third prize winner and repeat the process. But how many times will you repeat the process? Till we get 3 prize winners with at least one boy and at least one girl. Okay, will this always give us 3 valid prize winners? These are the questions that rise from this problem. What if there are ties? Okay, so if now see, it is saying what if there are ties and how many ties can we tolerate? Does it depend on first, second, or third position? There's all these questions that are rising. Okay. Now see, I think they have given some. Yes. So we have worked out a complex problem in full detail, identify natural units to convert into procedure. So what are the different procedures that we have used? One is your top 3 marks procedure, right? These are different units of this major problem that we just solved. So one is top 3 marks procedure, one is subject topper procedure, right? These are the 2 procedures
Yeah.
that we have used. And shortcut for checking return value of a procedure that returns a Boolean value. That means which procedure among these 2 returned a Boolean value? Subject topper. Boolean value is what? True or false.
True.
Okay. So subject topper was returning a Boolean value. See, whenever I write a statement like this, if subject topper this, so you might ask that in this, where is the comparison? If is a conditional statement, so there should be some comparison, some question mark, right? Here I am just calling a procedure. So it means that if true or if false, that is what we are checking here. If this procedure returns true, then the statement will read like if true. That means the condition is true. Then you go into the if block and just perform all the statements. But if this procedure returns false, then it will be if false. So for false, we will not enter the if block, right? We will just go to the next condition. Okay.
Okay.
Have to anticipate and account for unexpected situations in data. So what is an unexpected situation? That all the toppers we found are of same gender, right? And that is where these ties are happening. So in that case, you know what to do. You have to remove the
Hello,
third
ma'am.
person and again do the same procedure. Yes.
Ma'am, can you explain again?
Explain what?
ऊपर वाला slide by Miss ऊपर वाला.
This one.
नहीं मैम एक और ऊपर. Yeah, ma'am, this.
This which part?
Ma'am, completely. It's complete.
I don't get you. Just like this whole thing.
Yeah, ma'am.
See, it is just doing a summary of all that we have done. Okay, so we did a complex problem in full detail, the 3 prizes problem. What are the different units? That means what are the different procedures we computed together? The top 3 marks procedure and the subject topper procedure. What was the subject topper procedure returning? Boolean values, true or false. So this if statement, usually what do we see? We saw in the first class something like if, wait. When we were finding the sum of maths marks for all boys, remember that procedure? So there was a
Yes, ma'am.
conditional statement called if x dot gender equals to male,
Equal
right?
to male.
So this is what we are used to seeing. We know that, okay, if this is true, then we will enter the if block. But here there is no such comparison operator like this equal to or greater than or less than. Then what is happening here? So this subject topper procedure is just being called inside an if statement. But this procedure returns only Boolean values, either true or false. So if it returns true, then we will enter the if block. If it doesn't return true, then we will go to the next if block or the next condition. Okay. And we also have to anticipate what are the unexpected situations that may occur at the end of execution. Unexpected situation is that it can happen that all three people are of the same gender. In that case, you have to just remove the last person, that is the third person, and you have to run the same procedure again until you find a different gender in that third place. Clear? Okay, now
Excuse me,
see.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, I
I
have
have a
a
doubt
doubt.
in the assignment, ma'am.
Yes, practice
Ma'am,
assignment
can
I
I
will
ask
take.
my
Just
doubt
give me a
first?
second. Yes, quickly ask.
Ma'am, I want to ask that, ma'am, I'm getting all the notifications of this class meeting on my mother's number. Can I get it on my on mine? What do I have to do for
These
that?
things I am not sure. You just write a mail to
Acha.
support whatever your query is.
Acha.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am, another doubt that these classes are on the basis of what we are doing from week third only, right?
Yeah, this is week 3 only. Next week you
Okay.
will start week 4.
Okay, ma'am, so it has the same content.
Yeah, it is the exact same thing that is given on the portal. Okay, so you first check out the way to learn is that first when a week's content is released on Friday, I think, then you have to go through the whole content, all the lecture videos. Okay, try to solve the activity questions. Then we will have these sessions. Okay.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in
Okay, thank you.
activity question.
Yeah, now we will take activity and practice. Okay, this is clear. I hope everyone 3 prizes problem is clear. There is one more PPT for 3.9 lecture. Okay, that you go through by yourself. It is nothing new. You go through it by yourself. If you have any issues, you can ask me in the next class. Fine. Now let's take
Yeah,
some
okay, ma'am.
questions from activity and practice. I'll stop sharing this.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, 1 second. In the previous, the starting of the class, you send your email. May I know why did you send your email ID in
I
the
sent
chat
it
box?
because some students who don't have access to Discourse, you can just send me your email ID to my email so I can add you. Okay.
ma'am, what is your email ID? Can you please reshare it?
Yeah, sure. 1 second.
Yes, ma'am, please, sir.
Ma'am, can you please share your Discourse ID also? Please share it.
Okay, share it one more time. Discourse and mail.
Ma'am, what is Discord, ma'am?
Ma'am, echo is there.
Echo is not because of mine, someone else's. Wait. I'm just posting this quickly. Note this down. All of this discussion we'll have at the end.
Please send your mail, miss.
Sound is echoing.
Ma'am, I have only one doubt.
Ma'am, this is your problem. Please check it.
Okay. Let me check 1 second.
I want
Ma'am,
full video, miss. I want video.
Please wait.
ma'am,
Let her check it. Everyone saw
I will wait.
Okay.
And I want full video means I want to do.
Look, I have
Hello,
sent
ma'am.
my Discourse ID and my this email ID. All right. I hope everyone can see in the chat box. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, if you have any issues that you are not added to Discourse or whatever it is, you can mail it to me. I will check it out.
Ma'am,
Fine?
can we get the slides?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
what's the
Yep.
All the slides I will upload, all the annotated slides after this class, I will upload the drive link in Discourse. Okay, you can check out.
Ma'am, ID name.
PT course. Sorry?
Ma'am, sorry for ma'am,
ID name, ma'am.
sorry for disturbing you.
If you have a doubt, just ask quickly.
Ma'am, I have only one
Ma'am, I
doubt.
have a doubt in activity question 3.4.
3.4. Okay.
Question number 3.
how many pairwise comparison among the variables and cards are needed to update all the variables? In the question, we have to start the comparison from the higher side. That's why the 95 can be replaced with 89. Then the 89 will be lost. That's why it's end up to 1. No, number 3.
Number 3 is going to be 1. How many pairwise comparisons among variables and cards are needed to update all the variables? Note that each pair consists of a
Ma'am,
card
I
and
want
one
full
of the
video.
3
I want to
variables.
do that.
Ma'am,
Sorry?
I have only one doubt.
I
want full video means I want to do that.
Ma'am, it is 1 because we have starting from the top, not from the bottom. That's
Wait,
why
wait, wait.
it's 1.
Wait, just let me check. What is
Ma'am, I
the...
want this video, full video, ma'am.
It is in YouTube, okay, in the IITM BS degree channel under CT live sessions. You can find all the session videos.
Ma'am, I have only one doubt.
Ma'am, channel name.
Hello.
I'm going to
IITM
mute
BS degree.
everyone.
Ma'am, please.
Please mute and proceed with practice questions, please.
Yes, that is why I'm just, let me read the question, then I'll be able to solve, right? Let max 1, max 2, and max 3 represent 3 variables that keep track of maximum marks, such that max 1 is greater than max 2 and max 2 is greater than max 3. Just like we learned the max, second max, third max. Next, current values are as follows. Max 1 is 89, max 2 is 78, and max 3 is 67. So let us assume that we always compare a new card first with max 1. Okay, so this is going in the other way. So till now we were seeing bottom up approach. That means we were first changing the third max, then second max, then max. So now what it is doing, it is first comparing with max 1. Then it is comparing with max 2. Then it is comparing with max 3. Right?
I think when it is comparing with first max 1, then 89 will be lost. That is why it is answer is 1.
Let's read the whole thing. A new card is now picked up from pile 1 that has max marks as 95. Okay, so how many comparisons it is asking? So since we are comparing from the top card, so if it is greater than max 1, 95 is greater than 89, so one comparison is enough, right? I don't have to compare with max 2 or max 3 because I know that max 2 and max 3 are less than 89. So just comparing with 89 itself is enough. So one comparison, right?
Yes, ma'am. But in that case, now come to the second question. Question number 4. In that case, the 3 number will be 95, 78, and 67, which adds up to 240.
No,
89 and 78.
It will be 95, 89, and 78, right? Because the max 3
Yes,
value
ma'am.
is going to be changed with max 2 and max
Yes,
2
ma'am.
with max 1 previous value.
Yeah, ma'am.
See,
Yes.
comparison and assignment are different things. Okay. Comparison and assignment is different. Comparing, first question is asking how many pairwise comparison do you need? So you need only one pairwise comparison, 95 and 89. But after you did the comparison, then you have to change the values of all 3 variables, right? If it is greater than max. If anything is greater than max, then we change all 3 variables we just saw in that top 3 marks problem. If the score is greater than max, you have to change max, second max, as well as third max. That means 67 will be discarded entirely. Max 3 will contain 78, max 2 will contain 89, and max 1 will contain 95. So you have to add up these 3 and it will give you 262. Clear?
Okay.
Ma'am,
Anything else? Other question?
ma'am, I have doubt in activity question 3, ma'am.
Question 3. 3.3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which question?
Question number 3 and 4, ma'am.
Oh, just give me one by one. I'll take all the doubts. Just calm down. Okay, 3.3. Which one?
Question number 3 and 4, ma'am.
Oh, okay. High frequency, low frequency, these things. Okay, so consider that the following table has been generated from a paragraph with 100 words. Okay, so the total paragraph has how many words? 100. Okay, now if you go through have you gone through all the lectures on this? Have you gone through lectures 3.3?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know that this part was discussed in lecture, right? What is a high frequency word? What is a long word? What is a short word?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Which word is considered long? What is the criteria?
The number of letters, ma'am.
Yeah, and how many letters does it take to be a long word?
Above 5, ma'am.
Above 5. So anything 6 and greater than or equal to 6 is long word. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is saying that there are 20 such words which are long as well as high frequency. 2 such words which are long as well as low frequency, 60 words which are short and high frequency, and 18 which are short and low frequency. So what percentage of the high frequency words confirm the hypothesis that high frequency words are short? So this means you have to find out a percentage. That means a ratio comes, right? So what will be the ratio? The denominator of that ratio will be all high frequency words. So first tell me in this data, how many high frequency words are there? I'm not saying
80.
long or short, just high frequency.
80.
80. And how many short high frequency words?
Only 60.
So 60 by 80 into 100 is how much?
60.
60 by 80 into 100 is how much?
75.
75. So that's your answer. See, next
ma'am.
one.
Thank you.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Percentage of, yeah.
Ma'am, how we can say the word has low frequency and high frequency?
Have you watched the lectures? Everything is given in very good details there. I will ask you to watch lecture 3.3 once, okay?
Thanks, ma'am.
There they have taken the actual words and shown you. Like high frequency means what? A word that is occurring more times, right? Some words in a, like in general, if you read a normal paragraph from any book, you know that the word the, it occurs a lot of times, right? But the word, some other words, let's say there is a word called situation. This word will not occur a lot of times. So that is a low frequency word. And a word that occurs again and again, it is a high frequency word. So what is question 4? How is it going to be solved? What percentage of the low frequency words reject the hypothesis that low frequency words are long? So this one, can you solve now? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Anything else?
I'm graded assignment week
Excuse me,
2.
ma'am.
Graded I cannot do, right? This is week 3.
Ma'am, activity 3.4, ninth question.
Ma'am, graded assignment
3.4, ninth question.
Ninth question.
Activity question 3.2.
This one, right? In a variant of the scores dataset, the maximum marks in. Please
Ma'am,
mute
the
yourself
answer
if you
is
don't have anything to
given
ask.
that she has a good chance, but it should be she will certainly get a prize because if
Let
it's
me see.
94.
In a variant of scores dataset, maximum marks in maths, physics, chemistry are 95, 96, 97. A student has scored 94 in all 3 subjects and has topped the class based on total marks. Will she get a prize? Okay. See. Why it is saying that she has a good chance of getting a prize? She has scored 94 in all 3. Very good. But it might happen that all 3 people that are chosen are girls and this person comes in 3rd. Then she will be removed, right? For a boy.
Okay, ma'am.
So she has a good chance of getting the prize, but we cannot say for sure. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am, can
Yes.
I ask question from week 2?
Week 2 I will take in the end. If you have time, then you can hang on. Because this is week 3, right?
Ma'am,
I have a
Who
doubt
is
in
this person?
practice assignment, ma'am.
Just 1 second. Who is this person who is doing this? It's nonsense. 1 second.
Please
Who is
don't
this
disturb the
person?
class.
Please tell me the name of this user.
Ma'am,
This
they
is
have
okay.
kept the name okay.
I think they left.
That's okay, basically.
And please log the
Ma'am, can I
meeting
ask
after
my
removing
doubt?
that card. And please log the meeting.
Okay, yeah. Activity 3.1. Yeah, 3.1. Which question?
My next activity number 3.9, question number 2.
Last question.
3.1, last question. This one.
Yes.
So each card in shopping bills dataset is represented using following pairs of tables. Okay. So shopping card has 2 things. One is card ID, shop, customer, total, and ID, item, category, quantity, price, cost. We just saw the shopping bills dataset. You can pick up any card and check. So can
Yes, ma'am.
any of the columns from either table be removed without losing information? So which column can you remove? If you remove this total column, is there any way you can find the total? Yes, using quantity, price, and cost.
Okay,
Right.
so by losing the information, it asks me, who's this? So by
Yeah, so even by you, if you erase this total column, you can
okay, so
use
we can
quantity, price,
calculate
and
it.
cost. Yeah, it can be derived from others. Okay.
Okay, that I got it. Ma'am, also activity 3.5.
3.5, which one?
Ma'am, second question and fourth question.
Second and fourth. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So the
This
logic.
person is this person is actually changing the name to the other candidates, and he is creating trouble. Now he has changed the name to Afrin Khan.
He's using my name now.
Yeah, with a capital A. Earlier it was Hululu, then he was okay. Now he's
See,
Afrin
this
Khan.
kind of behavior, what can we do? Like, no one
Basically,
is a
I mean,
child
they
here.
Ma'am, he does
I,
that.
You can
He
log the
does this
meeting
in
after
all the
removing that
classes,
guy.
ma'am. In
No,
every
you can
class he
log the
does
meeting
this.
after removing that guy.
no, it's
Okay,
not a problem,
I
ma'am. I
will.
mean, you can actually inform to track his IP
Yes,
address
yes,
and
yes.
block
I will do that.
entirely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I will let them know after today's class
Chat
only.
also he was doing the same thing.
But the thing is that who is this person? How will we identify?
No, it's not because he has, as I told you, his name was initially Hululu, then he changed to OK, then he made his name as Afrin Khan. So it's obviously in the Zoom you can track it, and you can track his IP address
Okay.
and block permanently forever. And also,
Okay.
even he can't even enter into Zoom at all if you block it forever.
Right.
You can
I
remove
will.
from the list of candidature itself if that's the case.
Yeah, I will give this information to operations team. They will block this email. Okay. So the logic used by it is asking if the following statement is true or false. The logic used by procedure max to compute maximum marks depend on parameter that is passed to it. Okay, I am
Ma'am,
not
all I
sure which
want to
procedure it is talking about.
Ma'am, all I want to ask in this question is that the logic that they are saying is the basic the basic operation that will be performed, right? And
See,
the parameter
it
is
is
something.
activity 3.5, right? So lecture 3.5 must have some procedure called max. Okay. So it is talking about that procedure. So I am not entirely sure what that procedure is right now.
No, ma'am, I'm asking about the term logic and parameter. So logic is the basic thing that will be performed.
Logic is whatever you're performing. Parameter is what? That
Something
subject
that will
name.
we'll be feeding it, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, got it. And fourth question, ma'am.
So let us clone the scores dataset and modify it in the following way. For every card in the clone dataset, we replace maths marks by 100 minus the current maths marks. Okay. So that is, we take the maths marks in a card, subtract it from 100, and then replace the maths marks in the card with this new number. So are you do you understand the question itself?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So what is happening is we are cloning the scores dataset and we are changing the maths marks of every student by what? 100 minus their current maths marks. Right. Okay. Now tell me, if this code is executed, what will be the variable max storing? So max clone is the 1 second.
It's 100 minus the maths marks that we are doing.
Okay, so max of maths clone. This will return what? This will return the maximum maths marks in this cloned data set, correct? This max procedure returns what?
And the max clone, I think the first statement, that is the max clone, that returns the output as 100 minus the maths marks. Because I think in the question it is stated as the maths marks in the clone data set as maths clone, right?
Look,
you read the last line.
Max clone will give you what? It will give you the this I am not entirely sure what this max procedure is doing, but if I'm right, then this max is computing the maximum score, right, in this data set, maths clone data set, correct? Is this yes or no?
The second one, the max.
No, the first line. The first line. What it is doing? Max clone is storing what? The highest marks in maths clone dataset. Right.
Ma'am, how did we infer that it's storing the max marks?
I'm asking you that this max procedure is doing what? It is finding the maximum marks or what?
Ma'am, according to the question, since it's written that it is 100 minus the maths marks, so I think that is the output that should be coming out of it.
That's fine. But this max clone, this variable is storing something, right? Which is the output of the max procedure. See the first line.
That would be varying, right? It depends on the card that we are referring to.
No, I'm just asking what is the max procedure doing? because I don't remember what exactly was in the lecture in
Ma'am,
3.5.
I feel that the max clone is basically taking the max marks of the student and then subtracting it from
It's
the
actually
100 and
it's
Ma'am,
very
then
it's
easy.
not,
storing
Okay.
it
I'll tell you,
over
I've
there.
done the lecture. It's not related exactly to the lecture. It's just
Okay. Okay.
application of it.
Let's
Yeah,
look at it
it's
this way.
actually basically the one of the pseudocode that was given over there.
Hmm,
So
hmm,
it's
hmm.
basically
Ma'am, it is
the
random.
work of that pseudocode only.
Okay, let's look at it in an easy way. First thing is, what you can see is in maths clone we have changed the maths marks by subtracting it from 100, right? So this max clone variable, it is now storing the maximum marks from that clone dataset. So that maximum marks from the clone dataset is what in the original dataset? When will you get the max? By subtracting from 100. When you subtract the minimum marks from 100, right? If I'm
Okay,
subtracting
yes,
every
got it.
student's maths marks,
Yes, I
then
got it. I got it.
right. So if you scored 1 in math, in the clone dataset, you are the highest person. You have scored 99.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay, that is why max will
I
score
have
what's the minimum marks in
Okay.
original set.
Now I understand.
Ma'am, I have a question over here that the max clone is actually storing the 100 minus actual marks.
No, but
Max
there's a
clone is
max
storing
in front
the
of it, right? That's what she's
max
saying. Ma'am
clone is
is
a variable. Okay, max clone is a variable and max is the procedure. So this max procedure, as far as I can tell, it is returning the maximum value from this max clone data set. Okay,
that is
and that
why
maximum value is stored in max clone.
Ma'am, that is why after the
Okay, okay.
when we do the max one, the max procedure, which is 100 minus max clone, that will give us
hmm.
the minimum marks in the
Minimum
original
in the
data set.
original. Yeah, right.
All right, yeah. Got
Ma'am?
it. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a
Excuse me,
doubt
ma'am.
in practice assignment 3, ma'am.
Okay, activity, let's complete first. Activity, any more doubts?
Ma'am, activity question 3.8.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
activity number
activity question
3.9.
3.1, which one?
First and
3.8,
second
first
ma'am.
question.
3.8. 3.8.
I will take. Just wait a little. 3.1, which one? First question.
First and second.
Okay, so assume we are working with a new dataset similar to scores. This dataset is given to us in the form of cards. Okay, first, everyone, I would like to tell you, if you have any other classes or any other obligations, then you can leave, okay? Because you can ask these questions in TA session also, they will also answer. But if you want to stay, you can stay and ask. Okay, so we have...
Ma'am, question 3.9, question number 3.
Okay, after this I'll take. Working with a new dataset similar to scores, this dataset is given to us in the form of cards. Each card has F fields and there are N cards in the dataset. F fields means there are attributes, right, in a card. Like in the scores dataset, what are the fields? Physics, chemistry, math, student name, card ID. These are the fields. So each card has F number of fields and there are total N number of cards. So this dataset is to be represented in the form of a table. So table has what? These fields are the attributes of the table. That means the columns, right? And each card's data will be one row of the table. So we have N such cards and F such columns. Sorry? The
Field means column rows. Fields means column
F
rows.
means what? Field is always column. Okay. Field is always column. Look at the shopping bills data set. The ID, quantity, these are what? These are column values, right? In any general table, if you just look at a table, how does the table look like? In your school routine, the table had attributes what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then under that, you wrote that in which day, under which class you had what period. So this is how a table looks like. Attributes are what? The column names of the table. In
F is
this case, it is saying
variable.
yeah. So in this case, it is saying that each card has F fields. That means the table that we form will have F columns. Understood? F attributes. And there are total N cards in the data set. That means how many rows in the table? N rows. Because each row represents one card's information. Now what it is asking, how many rows will the table have? N rows. N cards, that means N rows. Okay. And how many columns? F columns. Number of fields is the number of columns. And number of cards is the number of rows. Clear?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hmm.
The same activity 3.1, fifth question, ma'am.
Which one?
Fifth question.
This one. Okay.
Yes.
So consider a tabular representation of shopping bills dataset with following columns. What is the ID of the card that occupies the maximum number of rows in this table? ID of the card that occupies maximum number of rows.
It's three.
Hmm.
It has most number of items.
So that you have to check from the dataset itself. I'm not sure. You have to go to the shopping
Yeah,
bills and check.
shopping bills data set.
It's three.
Who bought the most number of items?
Answer is 3.
Right.
Ma'am, how
Yes,
they are
ma'am, three
finding
is
it?
coming.
Because no data set is provided here.
No, you have to go to the common datasets given
Common
to you.
data.
Here in course
Practice
introduction, you can
assignment
find
it is
common
given.
datasets.
But I
Here
have a
you can
question.
find shopping bills.
Sorry, I
Oh.
have, because it's about the ID, because we saw in the shopping bills always there is a ID that is quite unique. It starts from 0 and goes with 29 so on. So here they are asking about the repetition of the same ID, but the ID will be unique.
No.
But
Actually, what is happening here, see, shopping bills, if we do this by ID, na, so we are also doing this by item and quantity, right? So a person with one ID can have what? More than one item. So in that case, that person will have more than one row entries in the table,
like
right?
the three Watson's case, which you
Yes.
Okay. Now
Okay, so the person was asking, just go through the common dataset. Your voice is cutting off. Please
Ma'am.
repeat. What is the
Ma'am,
next
can I
question
ask
activity?
ma'am?
Week 2, it is
Ma'am,
better
I
if you
have,
ask in the TS session, okay? We are just doing week 3 today.
ma'am, can you just go to activity 3.8, question number 1?
3.8, question 1. Okay, 1 second. Okay, this one. So consider
Yes.
the following code block in the procedure top 3 marks. Okay. So this is which code block you remember? When max has to be updated. That means all 3 are to be updated. So assume that we call the procedure top 3 marks maths and intermediate stage in the execution of this procedure. We find that the variables having the following values. So at this point, max is 88, second max is 76, and third max is 68. Now, the next card that we pick up, okay, from pile 1, the condition in the above if statements evaluates to true. Okay. So what would be the smallest value of maths marks on this card? Yeah, this is very easy. See, currently my max is what? 88. And it is saying what? That this code block, this if condition is true for the next card I have picked. So when will this condition become true? When it is greater than max?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? So max is 88. So what is the next number? 89. That is the smallest value that is greater than 88.
Okay,
Understood?
I thought that 68 is going to be the answer. I couldn't just figure out that the
No. I
smallest
understood
value.
what. Okay, you made the mistake. You thought that among all 3 variables, what is the least? No.
Yeah,
It is just
I thought that.
No. It is what mark should it be to beat max?
sorry, could you please repeat? I didn't get it. Sorry for that.
See, it is saying that currently max has 88, second max has 76, third max has 68. Now I have picked up some card from pile 1 next, which evaluates this if statement to true, this if x dot subject greater than max. So that means I have to find out what is the smallest such value which is greater than max. So if max is 88, 89 is the next value, right? 89 is the smallest value that is greater than 88. Yes or no?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So 89.
Yes, ma'am. It's very clear.
Okay. Yeah, that's something else.
Okay. Next.
Kindly convey some
Can we see it like that,
on
that it
question
is
number
One by
asking
4.
for
one.
the
One by one.
lowest maximum value?
Practice
Sorry,
assessment
sir.
question number 4.
No, the other
Can we
person.
just say
What?
that it is asking for the lowest maximum value, means the maximum value just after the marks that was in the data set, or the max that was inside
It
the
is
max?
asking. It is asking that the next card that you picked, if it beats max, then what is the lowest possible value of that card? If it is greater than max, the mathematics marks of that card, if it is greater than max, then what is the lowest possible marks? Like it can be anything. We don't know what the marks is. We just know it is greater than max. But what is the lowest possible? It is obviously 1 mark greater than the current max, which is 89.
Yeah, understood it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, next one.
Ma'am, could you
3 point?
explain 3.8 fifth one?
Practice assessment question number 4.
Okay, so just this. Okay, this one you asked last day also, I think. Okay, so subject topper. This
Ma'am, I
subject
have
topper,
doubt in 3.1.
I'll take. Subject topper procedure, it had four parameters, right? One is the first is the card, next is third highest in physics, third highest in chemistry, third highest in maths, right? These are the four parameters. So for some arbitrary card X, we execute the following statements. What would be the return values when we read from top to bottom? Okay.
Activity 3.1 question paper.
Yeah, I will ask when. Wait. So subject topper X, and if all of them are 0. Okay. If all of them are 0, then we have to check that if that person has scored greater than or equal to 0. So obviously first one will be true for everyone, right? For any card, the first one will give true. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you repeat that?
Yes, ma'am.
See, subject topper, this procedure, it has four parameters. One is the card you picked, S, X, and the rest three are the third highest marks from all the three subjects, maths, physics, chemistry. So for the first card, for the first time the procedure is called, it is X and 000. That means the third highest marks are 000. So
Yes,
obviously,
okay.
X can score 0 and still he will be a subject topper, right? Because the condition in the subject topper definition is what? It has to be greater than equal to, right? So the first condition, first line will return true. Second line, it is X 100 00. So again, since there are two zeros, so it will again return true because there is or condition, remember? Or condition, not and. They have to be the subject topper in at least one. So in at least one, it will return true. I think it should be true, true, true. Wait. This one is also 0. Let's check it once. I think it should be true,
The
true.
answer is true, 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 but I can't get for the third one. I
See,
thought that it would be true,
even
true,
if there is
false.
1 0, even if there is 1 0 among the third highest ones, okay, even if one subject's third highest is a 0, it will return true for any card because any marks is greater than equal to 0, right? No person would have scored in negative.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it will return all true. Okay, next activity 3.1, which question? Okay. 3.1, just question number again.
Ma'am, question 1. Question
1. I just told this.
Ma'am,
See,
50, ma'am.
I'll just
Ma'am.
tell this one more time. It is saying each card has F fields and N cards in the data set. So F fields is what? Number of fields is the number of columns in your table. And number of cards is the number of rows. Okay. So N rows and F columns. Okay. Question 5
Ma'am,
is
50 question. Yes, ma'am.
this one also I just said. I just
No, ma'am.
explained this too. Yes,
Ma'am, I
this one
have
I
a
just
doubt in
explained.
practice assignment 3, ma'am.
Okay, after this question only, I'm going to practice assignment. Okay. So ID, shop, customer, item, category, these are all given. So it is saying that what is the ID of the card that occupies maximum number of rows. So I just told you that for this, you have to refer to the common data set of shopping bills. There you have to see which person has bought the most different number of items. So that you have to check from the common data set. Someone said 3, I guess, is the answer. I'm not sure.
Yes, ma'am. Three is the answer.
So just
Yes,
So what will be the tabular representation of shopping bills data set? You just have to give the customer ID, shop name, customer name, item category. Now the person who has the most number of items will be mentioned the most number of times, right? So maybe that person with ID 3 is mentioned the most number of times, I guess.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, next is practice question. Which one?
Number
Second,
4.
second and
Okay.
11th, ma'am.
9th and 12th.
Okay, I will ask question 1. Anyone? 2?
No.
Yes, ma'am, 2.
Okay. 2 is what? The following pseudocode is executed using scores dataset. What will be the value of variable z at the end of execution? Okay. So there are, see, these are the variables, some t, some m, some p, some c. These are all 0. Okay. So this is what? Some total, some math, some physics, some chemistry. So while pile 1 has more cards, read the top card. Then in some t variable, you add the total. In some M, you add the maths marks. In some P, you add the physics marks. In some C, you add the chemistry marks. And then you move that pile. Okay. So this will happen how many times? As many times as there are cards in the pile 1. Then at the end of this, when you have exhausted pile 1, you will come to this statement, line 10. You initialize Z to 0. So at this point, sum T contains what? Sum of total marks of all students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And sum MPC, sum of total marks of all students in maths, physics, chemistry. Okay. Next, we initialize Z to 0. Now, if sum M plus sum P plus sum C by sum total is greater than equal to 0, then Z is 1. Okay. And if it is less than equal to 1, then Z is minus 1. So it is asking you what will be Z. Okay, so in this case, I think we have to go through the scores data set itself na, to find out.
No,
Right?
ma'am.
Or can we find it out from here?
I think we can find out from here.
How? Because we know that the sum total would be huge, obviously, because it is 300 out of
Ma'am,
300.
I feel that sum total is basically the addition of sum M plus sum P plus sum C. So
One
the
second.
sum, the,
It will be, see, sum M is sum of all maths marks. Sum P is sum of all physics. So if I add all of these 3 up, it should give me sum T. Right?
yeah,
Ma'am,
so
it can never
sum,
be greater
that
than
total
0.
sum by the sum
Greater
T
than
is,
one.
Right. So
should
if I
be
do
1.
sum T by sum T, it should be 1. So it should be, answer is minus 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because if you add physics, chemistry, and maths, it will give you the total, right? Very good. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is basically sum T by sum T. So it is less than equal to 1. So Z is minus 1.
So
Yeah.
basically, you are saying that total is nothing but math, physics, and chemistry added.
Yeah, total is what? See, in any card you pick up, you'll see the total marks is what? The summation of maths, physics, and chemistry marks.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Yeah.
And I have doubt in 11th question as well.
Okay, I'll take. Number 3, anyone?
No, number 4.
Number 4. Okay. What is this? Sum SV0, sum BB0. Okay. All right. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's just not waste time. One sec. Question 4, right? Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's look at the pseudocode first, then we'll see the solution. So first we have 4 variables, SV, BB, count SV, count BB. So SV is SV stores, BB is Big Bazaar, right? So all 4 variables are first initialized to 0. So while pile 1 has more cards, read the top card X from pile 1. If shop name is SV stores, right? If it is SV stores, then sum SV will be updated to sum SV plus X total bill amount. That means for all cards that are from SV stores, you will add the total bill amount to sum SV and also keep a count of the cards. So count is also incremented by 1 each time. Right. If the shop name is Big Bazaar, then you add the total bill amount to sum BB and also keep a count in count BB and increment it by 1. Right. After this is done, move the card to pile 2 and pick up the next card. So this will happen as many cards as there are in shopping bills data set. Right. Next, after this is done, in MSB, you are storing what? Sum SV by count SV. This is what? Average total bill amount from SV stores. Right. And MBB is what? Average total bill amount from Big Bazaar. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we have A0, B0. We have 2 more variables initialized to 0. While pile 2 has more cards, read the top card X from pile 2. Okay. So now all the cards that we saw, we have moved them to pile 2. So now pile 1 is empty. So now we are reading from pile 2. Read the top card. If shop name is SV stores and total bill is greater than MSV, then add 1 to A. If shop name is Big Bazaar and total bill is less than MBV, then add 1 to B. And at the end, again, move the card to pile 1. Okay. What are they asking? What will be the values of variables A and B represent? Okay. So A will represent what? A will represent the number of cards from SV stores which have a total bill amount greater than the average total bill amount. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And B will store the number of cards from Big Bazaar with a total bill amount less than the average total bill amount. So
Yes,
which
ma'am.
option is that? Let's check. Let's. I think this one. Yeah, option A. Option A, right? Or B? Basically, just look at the options once. I hope you understood what it is doing. B will store the total number of cards from Big Bazaar having total bill amount less than average bill amount. Okay, and A will store all the number of cards from SV stores having total bill amount greater than average bill amount. Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question in this pseudocode only.
One second. Yes. Option B will be the answer. Fine. Yeah. What is
Okay,
the
ma'am. Thank
question
you.
asked?
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
actually, we are moving the cards from pile 1 to pile 2 and then checking it in pile 2 and then again moving it to pile 1. So
No.
basically,
Look, this first completes. Okay. First, all the cards are moved to pile 2. Then you check from pile 2 and then again all the cards are moved to pile 1. These are happening separately. Okay. After this is over,
okay.
then this one starts. These are not happening simultaneously. First,
Ma'am,
this
all
while block
cards
is
are going
completed.
one by one in pile 2.
Yes, first all cards are going from pile 1 to pile 2 one by one. Then you complete the execution of this first while block up to this. Okay. Then this MSV, MBB, you find out all of this. Then again, this while block, it just works on pile 2. Because now pile 2 has all 30 cards or how many cards there are in shopping bills. Okay. And after the execution of this while block, all cards are again moved to pile 1. Okay, next question. Practice.
Ma'am,
11th one.
9, right? Let's go serially. 9 is what? Following pseudocode is executed using scores dataset. What will count represent at the end of execution? Okay. 1 second. Yeah. So count is 0. First, table 1 has more rows. Read the first row in table 1. Move row to table 2. Okay. While table 1 has more row, read the first row in table 1. So now we are picking 2 cards from this table 1. Okay. Count equals to count plus compare something. Okay, this compare something is what? It is a procedure. It is being called here. Okay. This compare something procedure is being called here. Where is the procedure defined here? Procedure compare something. So what is compare something doing? It is taking 2 things as parameters, A and B. If A is greater than B, then return -1, else return +1. Clear? So what we are doing? We are picking two rows. Okay, that means 2 cards from the scores dataset and we are comparing them, the total values of them. So if x dot total is greater than y dot total, then it will return what? -1. And if x dot total is less than y dot total, it will return what? +1. Right? So like this, you can do this for count. First count equals to count plus compare something x dot total comma y dot total. Then again in count variable only you do count plus compare something, just reverse the parameters. But you remember that we have to always maintain the order of parameters. So now first it was checking if a greater than b. That means if x dot total is greater than y dot total. If so, then it is returning -1. In the next one, it is checking is y dot total greater than x dot total. If so, then it is returning -1. Understood? So this is
Ma'am,
how the
so
pseudocode is
basically,
working. Go on.
so basically, it is the compare something pseudocode is the pseudocode which is written in the DOAR area.
Yes, that is the definition. Here we are just calling it. Here the procedure is being called. Okay, and this is the definition of the procedure. Procedure compare something. Okay. So what is the count?
Ma'am, why do we have to move all of them in table 3? I mean, if we are moving it from table 1 to table 2, in between that we can only do it. Why we have to add up another one that move the row Y to table 3 and then again to 1?
See, first we are reading from table 1 and after reading we are sending it to table 2. right? Then again we are reading from table 1 only, while table 1 has more rows, correct? And reading it
Yeah.
again from table 1. That means all the things that we're reading are unique. Once we have read a card, it is sent to table 2 and table 3, right? So first
Yes,
card that
ma'am.
you are reading from table 1, it is sent to table 2. Next card you are reading from table 1, it is sent to table 3. Then move all rows from table 3 to table 1. Why is this happening? Because the first cards that we read are now in table 2. But the nested iteration, right? For those nested cards, you have to check them again. So you have to remove all of those from table 3 to table 1. This is a little difficult to explain without taking an example. Is it okay if I take this question again in next class? I will give a good example. I'm just really tired right now to write the whole code.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. No problem.
Question
Okay.
number 11, ma'am.
See, this thing, what it is doing, let me tell you in brief. If it is from, if x and y, okay, if x is greater than y, then returning -1. And if y greater than x, then also returning -1. Because there are two lines for count, right? Look at the solution once. See, the given pseudocode contains nested while loops and we are iterating on scores dataset. So every student's total marks will be compared against every other student's total marks. Right. So this comparison will happen twice with different sequence of arguments for the procedure compare something. So you saw that there are two different lines for that same count variable, right? So it is happening twice with the parameters reversed. Once with x comma y, another with y comma x. Okay. So this procedure is comparing parameters a and b and it will return -1 if a greater than b and 1 otherwise. Okay. So based on this information, we can analyze three results of comparison. One is, what are the three things that can happen? One is x dot total is greater than y dot total. This will return -1 and decrement the value of count. Yes. One is x dot total is less than y dot total. This will return 1 and increment the value of count. Another is that x and y have the same totals. This will also return 1 because why? See, if it is greater than return -1, for all other possibilities return 1. So if it is greater than return -1, if it is lesser or equal, then return 1. So if x and y totals are equal, then it will return 1 and increment the value of count. Now, because of the two successive procedure calls, see, two procedure calls are happening one by one, right? Here one, in the next line again. So in the two successive procedure calls with different order of arguments, results 1 and 2 will nullify each other's effect. Okay. But result 3 count will be incremented twice. It is better to take an example in this question. Okay, I will take an example in this next class. Okay. If you want, you can take this solution. If you want, I will post the solution itself. Or better yet, I will do something. I will post a good example on Discourse only on this question. Fine.
Okay, ma'am. No issues.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Now the
question
basic is
11.
clear. Okay, 11. Yeah, I will check.
Whether the discourse is open to all, ma'am, all qualifiers can join.
I think Discourse is for those people who are already in the program.
Already qualified. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because it requires an IIT Madras
But
email ID.
are the other people, do you have a Google forum? Because last time we had a Google forum for
Yes,
the
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
for
ma'am,
the
but I
assignment.
can't get access to it. Means I can't write anything or do anything. It says it's locked. So
We do have Google forum, but there is no activity.
There is no activity there.
Yes.
Okay.
ma'am,
Because
you
last
can
time
just do one thing that you can better just send this whole PDF to us in the chat box and then we will see it. And if we have any doubt, then we will say it in the next class. That would be better, I feel.
This PDF is there in practice assignment solution PDF.
You can find this PDF there in your supplementary contents. Okay, that is all right. All of you have access to this, but usually discussion forums are needed for student interaction. So if Google forum is active, are you able, like, is any of you able to write messages on the discussion forum in Google?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am, I can't write anything.
Okay, if you don't have access, just send me your mail ID. All right. I already shared my mail. Just write me a mail and mention what your issue is.
Ma'am, can you please give it again, or can anyone give it again? Let's resend it because I have joined late. So
Okay, okay. I will give it again. Then I'll just take this one question. Okay.
And sorry, you have already shared the PDF?
No. This PDF is given in your supplementary contents only. You can
No,
find
no,
it there.
you're the one which you upload for the presentation.
No. I haven't given it yet. I'm just giving my mail ID so that. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, ma'am, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let's take question 11. What is it saying? The following pseudocode is executed using scores dataset. Let mean total stores the minimum total marks obtained by any student. What will be the value of flag at the end of execution? Okay. So mean total is a variable that stores the minimum total marks obtained by any student, right? So first A, B, C, D are 4 variables that are all assigned 101. Flag is assigned the value false. While pile 1 has more cards, read the top card X from pile 1. ABC is equal to do something ABC. All right. So what is this do something procedure doing? Okay. Move X to pile 2. D is equals to A plus B plus C plus and if mean total minus D. All right. So procedure do something. What is it doing? It is taking 4 parameters. Y, A, B, C. So in this case, Y is what? The actual card that we picked, right? So X is the first parameter that we are giving when we are calling the function do something, right? So X is the card that we picked. And ABC is what? In the beginning, ABC is what? 101, right? So procedure do something Y ABC is doing what? If Y dot mathematics is less than A, then A will store Y dot mathematics. If it is less than B, Y dot physics is less than B, then B will store Y dot physics. If Y dot chemistry is less than C, then C will store Y dot chemistry. And it is returning what? It is returning ABC in the form of a list, right? So
ma'am, basically we can say that do something is just storing the greatest values of all.
Greatest or least?
Sorry, least value of all.
Right. So it is checking for a given card, it is checking that whether it is less than A, less than B, less than C, and it is storing, if it is less, it is storing them in ABC and returning it. Okay, so after returning, what is happening? So this procedure will happen how many times? As many cards as there are in pile 1 in scores dataset, right? So after at the end, what will happen? So pile 1 has more cards, read the top card, ABC do something, move X to pile 2. Then D will be what? A sum of A plus B plus C. See, in the given pseudocode, variables ABC stores minimum mathematics marks, physics marks, and chemistry marks, right? In do something, that is what we are doing. Finding the list, right? So ABC will contain the minimum marks in 3 subjects. D is what? D is a sum of these minimum marks. See, here D equals to A plus B plus C. So at the end of execution, ABC contains what? The minimum marks in physics, chemistry, maths. D is a summation of those marks. Now it is saying if mean total minus D is greater than equal to 0. Mean total is what? Mean total stores the minimum total marks obtained by any student. So the minimum total marks, okay, minus D. D is what? Summation of least marks in physics, chemistry, and maths. If the difference is greater than equal to 0, that is 0 or greater than 0, then flag will be true, right? So it is saying that if the student who scored minimum total marks has also scored minimum subject marks, then in such a case, this will be 0. And it will be greater than 0 otherwise. So in either scenario, this flag will always return true. It will not be false, right? See, two things can happen. One is, up to this, is it clear? Line 8. Line 8 is what? D is storing what? Summation of least marks in physics, chemistry, and math. This much clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next step it is checking is if mean total minus D is greater than equal to 0. So what is mean total? Mean total is the total marks, minimum total marks scored by any student. So what are the two scenarios that is possible? One thing is that the person who scored the minimum total marks is also a person who has scored minimum marks individually in each subject, right? Let's say the minimum total marks is 60 out of 300, right? And the minimum marks in each subject is 20, 20, 20. So this person who has scored 60 is also the person who has scored 20 in every subject. So in that case, D and min total will be equal. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So if D and min total are equal, then their difference will be 0. In that case, flag returns true. Another case is what? Min total, that is the total minimum marks obtained by a person. Okay, say a person has scored 80. And individually in each subject, the lowest marks is 20, 20, 20. Now a person has scored 80. Let's say he has scored 20 and 20 in maths and physics and 40 in chemistry. So in that case, min total minus D is what? Greater than 0? 80 minus 60? Right?
Yes.
So there are two possible scenarios, right? And in either case, flag will return true. So the answer will be true only, B.
Okay. Okay. Got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Question number 12.
12.
Ma'am, in the question it is written that average total of female students means average mathematic marks of female students. So the average T should be sum F divided by count F.
Right.
It's given average T is equal to sum divided by count.
Wait, let me check. So sum is 0, count is 0. Okay, what is the question? The following serial code is executed in a course data set. At the end of execution, count M captures number of male students whose maths marks are less than average maths marks of female students. Okay. But the pseudocode may have mistakes. Identifying all such mistakes. All right. So sum 0, count 0. While pile 1 has more cards, read the top card. Sum and count are two variables and add marks is a procedure. Okay, what is add marks doing? Y sum f count f. Okay.
Also the parameter should be same, right, for add marks because it's a procedure. So the parameters under it should be same.
Mm-hmm. Parameters, that is okay. I mean, this sum f count f are just written in general. You can pass your parameter in here where you're calling the function. So for in case of y, you're passing x, that is the card you picked, and sum f is sum here and count f is count here. That is okay. Next, it is doing what? If y dot gender is female, then sum f is sum f plus y dot maths. Okay. And count f is 1. Okay, so it is just adding the marks of all female students and keeping a count of it, right? This add marks procedure. That's what it's doing. Yes. Okay, so average T is what? Average T is sum by count. Yeah, okay, this is also fine. So this is finding the average of female students maths in marks in mathematics, correct? Agree with this one or not?
Ma'am, I feel the answer would be 11. Means if there is an error in the line 11, it says less than, but I feel it would be greater than.
Okay, let me check. Up to this, it is fine that it is finding the average maths marks of female students. Then another variable count M is 0, right? And count M is supposed to capture what? Number of male students whose math marks are less than average maths marks of female students. Okay. So pile 2 has more cards. Now all the cards are in pile 2. So read top card in pile 2. X dot maths is less than average T. That means if he has scored maths marks, that is less than average T. Okay. Well, it should be greater than, right?
Yeah, me too feel so that it should be
I feel
greater than
like
because the question and the pseudocode in 11 line, they are just
No, I think 11 is
contrasting.
an error. Let's check. Yeah, there is an error in line 11. Correct statement should be that the gender is M. It's not because that greater than less than thing. See, the thing is that count M is supposed to capture what? Only the number of male students who have scored maths marks that are less than average maths marks of female students. But here, are you checking anywhere whether X is a male's card or a female's card? That's the wrong thing here. So here in this if statement, there should be one more condition to check if x dot gender is male. If x dot gender equals to male and x dot mathematics less than average t, then only increment count m. Understood? That's the wrong thing here. See, it should look like this. If x dot gender equals to male and x dot maths less than average t. Clear? The person who asked the question. Why 11
Ma'am,
is wrong?
here the add marks is the parameter is x comma sum comma count. So is x the female students or both boy and female?
See, within the add marks procedure, you are checking, right? If y dot gender is f,
But it
then
is
only
given
you are
later.
doing
In the
this.
start, what will it do? Means it goes from line one, right? So uh,
It goes
when
from
it
line one,
first
but as soon as you
starts
are
the iteration,
here,
then
as soon as you are coming to line 4, right? Then you are calling the procedure add marks here. As soon as you call a procedure, the control shifts to line 16. So it starts
okay,
from
ma'am.
here now. Okay. Then
Okay,
again,
ma'am,
it will
got
go
it.
back. So line 11 is wrong here because you are not checking if the card is from a male student or not. Clear?
One small doubt, ma'am. 11, line 11, double is equal to is there. What is that meaning? It may be very basic for you.
Line 11, where?
Then
Here, x dot maths.
line 17. If
Line
y
17. Yeah. See,
double
y dot gender equals to females mean while it is checking whether the gender in the card y is female or not. It is a comparison operator. Okay. Double equals to means exactly equal.
Thank you.
Yeah. And single equals is a assignment operator. Okay. Where we assign values. Okay. So I guess this is the end. If you don't have any more questions, then we'll close the session.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in week 2.
Week 2, can you please ask in the next class? In Monday's class?
Okay, ma'am.
Or you can just post in Discourse and tag me. I will answer it there. Okay. I just don't have any more energy left. I'm sorry.
Can I mail you?
Yes. Go on.
मेल कर सकता हूँ मैम आपको क्वेश्चन?
Sure. You can mail me.
Okay.
Is it from graded or practice?
It was from graded. That deadline has been crossed and answer has came.
Okay. Just send me the question. I will answer it. Okay.
Ma'am, next class will be in
Next class will be Monday. That is the TA session, I think.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Thank you so
will
much.
you take the TS session or any
No.
other teacher?
No. These are instructor sessions. Okay. TAs are previous students. Okay. Who have been toppers of this course. They are taking the TA sessions.
Madam, can you show the Google form? I don't know, madam. Sorry.
Google Forum, I don't have the link right now. You just mail me that you don't have access to Google Forum with your email ID. Okay. So I can ask them to add you.
Okay, madam.
Mail ID.
I have posted my mail ID in the chat box. It is
Ma'am, actually, I
manitifa@study.iit.in.
get
Okay,
the
ma'am.
mails from the by saying that Google Forum there's someone have written something or for unsubscribing, but I
Yes,
can't
yes.
get the access to write anything out of there. That's the main problem I am facing.
Okay, whatever is the problem, you write it in the mail and send me. Okay, I'll share it with the support team.
And,
Okay, ma'am.
and PDF you will upload in the supplement.
Yeah, I will upload all these PDFs that we did. Okay,
In the
for week 3.
supplementary. Okay.
Yes, you can find it in supplementary. No. In supplementary, you will find the actual PDFs. The annotated ones I will upload in Discourse.
But we don't have. I don't have access.
Ma'am,
for
but
Discourse.
we don't have the
Then I
access.
will. Okay. Then I will try to post it in Google Forum also. Fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think in the Google. Yeah, when you actually post in the Google, whatever the from the course side, I think whatever the
Google
document
Forum.
that you post, it gets shared with us.
Yes. I will post it there only. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you so much. You can leave
Thank you,
now.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Have a nice day, ma'am.
अभी भाई मीटिंग कंप्लीट हो गई, तुम लोग क्या कर रहे हो?